might bring out the killer in KLVJ.
Yeah, hopefully to bring up those stats, especially with KDA, game win rate, the first blood rate. But definitely, Execration are going to look to just stick to the fact that they have one of the widest hero pools in this season. Well, we're gonna see if that's still gonna be true kasi nung Season 6, 46, their total hero pool, Itomax, Chaknu, Renjo, Kellera, and Zapnu. Count on these players to really show a little bit of more flexibility and diversity in their picks. Last season nga si Chaknu, doon natin nakikita na, okay, 80% na adun pa rin yung playmaking, thank God, nakilala natin. But then from time to time, we saw him try out something different. Season 6, na-plant na yung seeds eh. Season 7, maybe this time we'll see it grow and they'll reap the rewards.
Now, itong dalawang koponan, it's Redemption and Rising.
Wow.
Now, this head-to-head is brought to you by Oppo A94. Experience gaming at full speed with Oppo A94. Available starting March 26 in Oppo concept stores, retail partners, and e-com platforms. Pag-usapan natin itong dalawang koponan na ito, Execration versus Smart Omega. Yung isa, they were on the brink, napaka-close na nila na masungkit ang kampyonato. Ito naman, they want to rise to the top. Ano nga ba ang susi para sa dalawang koponan?
Oh man, Omega Esports, they kind of need to just stick to their code for sure. But, katulad ng pinag-usapan natin sa pre-show, they have to bring the monster din. Hindi lang puro machine. We have to see some monster in them. Because I know, Execration, they're gonna take the fight to them. Execration are monsters. Ganun sila maglaro eh. They're crazy. And Omega Esports, kung masyado lang silang like calculated and calm, maybe hindi nila makalculate yung pagiging explosive ng Execration.
Ang tanong, who will be head and shoulders above the competition? Put your game face on and finally say goodbye to those awkward hashtag it's a GG moment thanks to Head and Shoulders. 100% dandruff free and itch free and now, mas mabango pa. Now, pinag-usapan natin ang mga manlalaro.
But so we can see a lot of analysis from this guy. Ang tanong ay kaya ba niya makipagsabayan dun sa sanay naman mag-coach? Kasi it's one thing to know the game, it's also one thing to know how to coach a team.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of teams, meron tayong mga manlalaro na definitely to watch out for. These featured players will do all they can para hindi maging GG. Bring your clay game with Master. Sekreto ng mga gwapo, dalawang gwapo na key players. Umpisahan muna natin kay Hajizi. Etong si Hajizi, yan. Kontra kay Renjo. Si Hajizi, gusto niyang itatak yung kanyang place as one of the best players in the league. Sa tingin niyo ba, kaya niyang i-continue yung kanyang strong performance dito sa Season 7?
Absolutely. I think Hajizi, tapos na yung face ng Rising Star. Now he has to defend his moniker as the KDA machine. And you can see, sobrang layo ng average KDA nila just because of how he plays. Hindi lang siya careful. Calculated din siya maglaro. Kasi nakakuha pa rin siya ng kills and assists. That means na hindi lang siya, hindi nagpapapatay, but also he gets to the fights in much better fashion para din naman makatulong sa Omega Esports squad.
Yeah, we saw the laning formation there. It was actually Zapnu's face showing up there. But again, we were able to confirm already na maglalaro nga si KLVJ. But if ever KLVJ maybe decided to sit out once again last minute, then Zapnu most likely will be the one taking up his spot dun sa jungle.
Napag-usapan naman natin yung laning formation. Sa tingin niyo ba, may magbabago simula ngayon Season 7?
Yeah, we might see a lot of differences sa Omega Esports. Na-mention ko kanina all about shifting roles. And I've seen kasi yung Omega Esports before MPL season started, nung off-season, some of their tournaments na actually ay nag-second place din sila. They also swapped roles. Minsan nandiyan si Heath, nandiyan si Kurt as a support. Sometimes nasa side lane. So we won't know. If you're asking me about it, will there be changes? I'm sure there will be changes sa Omega Esports.
Yeah, Omega has to change a little bit. And then for Execration, maybe if they're monsters, if they're spontaneous, they need to be a little bit more textbook and fundamental, katulad lang ng Omega.
Napag-usapan na natin ang bawat koponan. Oras na para masaksihan ang kanilang galing. Ito na ang unang matchup natin, Omega versus Execration. Kilalanin na natin ang ating mga casters, mga sikretong casters na sobrang gwapo. Pasok!
Maraming salamat mga nagagandahan at nagwagwapuhang shoutcasters, Mara, Kino, Wolfcast, and Reptar. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, ang pinakabagong season ng pinakabagong season ng MPL. This is MPL Season 7. Bagong history na naman ang ating matutunghayan. Of course, thank you to our official tournament telco partner, ang Smart Free to Game Great with Smart Free Games for All. At syempre, ang
GAB, MPL Philippines Season 7 is under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusement Board.
Ako po pala si Manjin Valdas. Kasama ko this time si TDZ. Magandang araw sa iyo, TDZ. Kumusta ka,
Tol,
men?
magandang araw din, Tol. Sobrang exciting! Gusto ko na makita ang unang laban natin for our Week 1, Day 1, starting things off with one of the best two teams. Mga dalawang maiinit na kupunan.
Mainit kagad. You have the first runner-up, which is ang Omega, and ang second runner-up natin na Execration, na magkaiba ang ginawang route pagdating sa pag-set up ng kanilang kupunan. Same squad for Omega, pero gaano ka nga ba kalakas ang tusok na nawala sa kanila si Coach Dale? TDC.
Tol, tingin ko malaking impact yan. Yun yung parang nasa adjustment phase ulit ang Smart Omega with that. But for sure, Coach Why Not is all well prepared. Sabihin natin na kahit bago lang siya, 1 month, more than 1 month na under the Omega Esports, I think that's still enough. Kasi intact pa rin yung mga players ng Omega dito ever since.
TDZ, nabanggit mo dito yung 1 month. And I think hindi rin ganoon katagal ang stay dito. Of course, ni The King sa side ng Execration. Unfortunately, nagkaroon nga ng matinding accident yesterday.
Yeah.
Pero again, nabalitaan natin last minute na si The King, KLBJ daw, ay maglalaro. So ngayon malalaman natin yan kapag magsisimula na sila. Sobrang interesting nito, TDZ. Bagong season, bagong muka, bago lahat, bagong update para sa MPL. Ang tanong, who will make the smart choices sa draft natin mamaya? Again, guys, thank you so much sa Smart, your official tournament telco partner. Free to game great with Smart Free Games. TDZ, what are we now expecting dito sa darating na draft na to?
Tol, nakikita ko sa draft, maraming heroes ang nabuff, maraming heroes din ang na-nerf natin, especially for this patch. At talking about that, mga items, adjustments, and also heroes. So, talking about heroes here, Kuya Manjin, tingin ko umangat na ang ating screen. At let's go into our Game 1 first series ng Season 7 draft.
Men, damandam ako sa'yo ang excitement. Damandam ako rin sa'yo yung gusto mo nang malaman kung sino-sino nga ba yung mga heroes na pipiliin nila. And kahit maging tayong dalawa ay excited kasi I think ito yung season na hindi na natin malaman, teka, sino bang pinakamalakas? Even though nandyan ang Bren na M2 World Champions, ito ata yung season na pantay-pantay halos lahat ng standings nitong mga teams na to.
Totoo yan, Tol. At makikita natin, sorpresahan lahat.
Let's
Kasi
go!
bukod sa heroes, meron din mga adjustments sa maps and also new objectives.
Yeah.
Tulad ng yung Little Wanderer.
Oh!
And also yung Stone Roamer na
is
pwedeng
there.
additional at nakakadagdag ng buff sa mga heroes.
For sure, makikita natin yan mamaya, that healing factor mula dito sa Little Wanderer na nagkaroon pa nga ng sariling article sa mga news. Ganoon ka-importante yung patch na naganap na ito. So now, TDZ, binanggit mo nga na umangat na yung draft, nagpakita na rin sa atin ang ating mga players. Omega Esports now banning the Benedetta and the Sylvana. Meanwhile, you have si Lena and
Lena.
the Natalia, magkaibang type ng bans dito. Assassin tank and then mga roamers ang bina ng side ng Execration.
Tingin ko
TDZ.
kasi sa mga roamers, ang laking impact dito. Talking about the Lethal Wanderer,
Aha.
again, going for a roaming role, once you get that Lethal Wanderer, that's 1% max mana regen every second. Plus meron pang additional 15% movement speed, so mas mabilis makakaikot, mas malaki rin ng impact, especially early game to mid game purposes.
And ang pagkakaalam ko, meron ka pang dagdag vision na makikita dito sa side ng Lethal Wanderer. Ngayon, pwede nating makita TDZ confirmed. KLBJ is playing sa squad ngayon ng Execration. How difficult is this, pare? Tingin mo ba may outside factor na pwede talagang mahirapan si KLBJ?
Posible, kasi nakita natin ngayon si KLVJ kahit after the incident, I'm hoping for a fast recovery here for KLVJ, but nakikita mo yung puso yung dibdib, yung pride na kailangan ko maglaro ngayon para sa Execration at ganun mo makikita ang confidence nitong bata nito.
Yes, and syempre, alam din, fully aware ang Omega. Of course, we're now looking at Omega's first pick. That is going to be the Jawhead para sa kanilang third ban dito. And ang ganda na na-emphasize mo dito, yung mga roaming junglers natin. We also have the Yishun Shin for Execration, but now, what is going to be the opening? Lancelot is up for the taking. Pati yung Ling na madalas din gamitin na JZ. Napansin natin to kanina na siya ang naging prio pick. Pero TDZ na pa-O ka dyan bigla dahil dito sa Matilda pick.
Yes.
Tama ba?
Tama yan, kasi Manjin, nakita natin yung Matilda dito. Isa rin siya sa mga heroes na na-buff for this patch. So, ang laki ng impact niya. As a assassin support hero, ang laki ng impact na kayang ibigay with the burst capability ng kanyang second skill and also the mobility that he can provide para sa mga allies niya. So, ang laking impact niya.
And ilang beses natin to nakita sa mga local tournaments and even before Season 7, if I'm not mistaken, available na rin si Matilda na around ng M2. Na itong hero na to na pwede mong i-build minsan na tank build or pwede mo ring i-build na mage build, talagang napakasakit. Yung kanyang kit nga lang na I think Soul Bloom ay kailangan na talagang nandoon yung player.
Tama.
Nandoon yung hero para tamaan. Tama ba ako?
Totoo yan. Plus, meron pa siyang Circling Eagle na pwede niyang isabay yung isang allied hero na hindi ganun ka-mobile on that specific spot. So, ang laking kayang ibigay na potential ito, especially for the early game ganks and also for the early skirmishes.
Speaking of ganks, we have one hero here na masakit gumank and masakit din mag-lane. You have the Pakito na tumaas din yung favorable pick output pagdating sa laro. Paired up with the Claude. Right now, let's talk about the other player na inaabangan natin ngayon sa side ng Execration. We have here Kelra. Para dito sa side ng Execration na I think ito yung magiging either gold or XP laner para dito sa side ng Exe. Ang tanong, itong Claude ba na to ang jungle ni KLVJ o mapupunta ba to kay Kelra?
Kay Kelra, that's a very good question. Kasi nakita nga naman natin, after Execration, able to take KLVJ, Renzio, and Kelra sa main squad nila, malaking flexible, mas nagiging flexible ang Execration ngayon kasi nahahide nila kung ano bang role ang gagamitin dito ni KLVJ at kung anong role yung kukunin dito ni Kelra. So it's a mind game here for Execration at tingin ko mahihirapan dito ang Omega Esports pagdating doon.
Mahihirapan ng Omega Esports in terms of babasahin nila, teka, sino gagamit?
Sinong gagamit?
Which is, I think, TDZ, last time na nakita namin ng Omega, may ganun din silang formula sa lineup nila. Kasi mind you, si Toshi at si Kenji, and sometimes si Curtizy, ay nagpapalit-palit. So, ngayon, hindi rin natin ngayon malaman kung sino ba ngayon ang magiging main side laner sa side ng Omega. This time, naglalaro si Toshi, and yes, that's the Alice, pero may part din na baka pwede gamitin ito ni Kurt.
Tama yan. At nakita natin performance dito ng Omega Esports. They really shines when it comes to early game. At tingin ko yun nga yung parang kontrapelo dito, Jin ng Execration. Ang Execration, alam nila na mas malakas sila or mas tumataas yung win rate nila kapag tumatagal ng more than 18 minutes yung laro. So, ang pwedeng gawin dito ng Omega Esports is to hold the game or either finish the game as early as possible. But by looking at the draft, again, meron silang Harley and also with the Matilda, there's a big possibility na i-take agad to ng Omega Esports as early as possible.
Magandang early game playstyle dito ng Omega, but I just want to remind everyone that Omega is the record holder sa longest game ng MPL. Yes, you have your late game gods, Execration, pero the fact na nakuha nyo yung 1-hour game last time, and the fact na natalo nyo, actually, na-break nyo yung record, I think Omega is also considered as the record, the record breakers? Tama ba yung tawag doon? Kasi, una, natalo nila yung Bren, or streak breakers, I mean, there you go, streak breakers, natalo nila yung streak ng Bren, and then natalo nila yung 18-minute late game streak ng Exe. So baka, for sure, may part, knowing Omega, may part sa Omega ngayon na wala na sa kanila lahat ng stat line ng Exe.
Pero tingnan natin kasi doon din papasok yung bagong playstyle na pwedeng i-introduce dito ni Coach Why Not after losing Dildulus as a coach as well. But looking at the draft here, Manjin, nakikita natin yung Execration, dinatanggal na nila yung mga possible offlaners and also mga tanky heroes na pwedeng piliin dito ng Omega Esports. While Omega Esports is heavily relying on magic damage. Nakikita natin Harley, also Matilda, and also the Alice on top of that.
Ang taas dito ng DPS Magic Burst ng side ng team ng Omega dito. I think dito magiging lax ang Exe kasi pwede lang sila mag-build dito ng ng magic resistant items. Kaso ang dilemma ko ngayon dito sa side ng Execration, TDZ, mukhang papasok nga dito yung sinabi mo. Kasi Lunox is a late game hero. Ganun din yung Claude na late game pa nga talaga. Unlike the Yishun Shin, na pwede mo nang isabak agad or pwedeng Lancelot.
Totoo yan. Kasi, again, Execration, they're heavily relying on those late game heroes na pwede mag-build up ka agad. So, ang kailangan nila dito for the next pick is either a really tanky hero, such as Tigreal, na pwedeng sumalo ng mga damage as early as possible, and also using the Fearless, he can prevent most of the damage output from Omega Esports. And it really depends on how they can set it up. Isang magandang implosion lang with the AoE damage from the Claude. We are expecting a lot of high-impact team fights set up dito para sa Execration.
Meron sila ditong knock-up mula sa Pakito. Meron pa silang AOE setup na I think, TDZ, basing sa mga na-interview ko sa mga players, pag tinanong mo sino pinakamagaling na player mag-setup, ang sasabihin na walang iba kundi si Chakno. The Chak Mamba is back together with the King. Now, probably gonna play the Tigreal since yun yung kanyang main core. So, kailangan matakot siguro dito ng Omega sa mga setups na yon. But, look at this! 4-mage lineup for Omega TDZ. Yun yung sagot nila dito sa late game ng Execration.
Nako, tingin ko dito, Manjin, medyo more of an early game impact. Omega Esports heavily relying on those 4 magic output dealers. Mas madaling mag-itemize dito yung Execration just in case na ididiretso ito ng Omega Esports. So I think what they're planning to do here sa side ng Omega go for the early game, go for the early team fights. And also they have the Yuzong na pwedeng kumontrol din kaagad sa offlane side ng Execration. One of the best ways to control the Claude and also able to easily breach the backline. So yun yung magiging deal nila dito. Really mobile heroes ang dalawang mage nila. They have the Harley and also Alice, the Flowing Blood, plus the Tricks, and also Matilda. So tingin ko, positioning ang magiging vital aspect dito ng Omega Esports. Kapag may nahuli silang isa, o kahit si Kelra or si Claude or kahit si Lunox man lang, that is already enough for them to disrupt the team fight composition of Execration.
So ibig sabihin mo sa akin dito, TDZ, mauulit na naman ang kasabihan na malakas ang Omega kapag umaga. Dahil hinahalang tulad ko yung Umaga dahil early game ang gusto dito ng Omega with the mages that they have. But I want to remember that Alice is also a late game hero, pero sobrang tama ka, TDZ. The Claude and the Lunox, kapag pinagsama mo late game, kahit sino pang humarap, delikado.
Delikado talaga yan. At nakita natin yung last pick dito ng Execration, back siya. That will be the offlane hero.
Renzo.
Yeah, dalawang frontliners na sobrang kunat, tapos merong burst damage and also with the physical and magical burst damage sa likod naman ng Execration.
Talagang binild up ng Execration itong kanilang composition for them to get that late game scaling. We shall see. At eto na, ang buenong-manong laban ng MPL Season 7. Tatlo kagad ang makikita natin dito sa mid lane, TDZ. We now have a timer sa ating mga buffs. 2, seconds left for the Lito Wonder. And here we go. Immediately, pumunta kagad si GC dito.
Ganyan ka-importante ang Lito Wonder ngayon, mga kaibigan, getting that additional 1% mana regeneration.
Wow.
Then magta-transition sila sa purple buff or probably steal the opposite side's turtle buff. Pero nakita si Haze dito, dumediretso sa may red, trying to prevent KLBJ from getting that orange-purple as soon as possible.
Parang perfect nga yung Lito Wonder dito kung iisipin mo sa mga mage like si Harley. Kasi lagi kang may uptime lagi kang may regen. And kapag gusto mo mag-gank, meron kang instant sight, Stone Roamer, na umiikot-ikot na actually kailangan patumbahin ng kalaban.
Pati makikita mo agad Tama-tama yun, Manjin. At makikita mo agad yung kung nasaan yung jungle heroes ng kalaban. So, taking the Lito Wonder is also one of the priority things or priority objectives na pwede mong gawin. Pero mukhang dito sa may bottom lane, meron din pala tayong changes dun sa may mapa natin. Meron ng brush area dun sa may gilid ng Turtle Cave.
So, swak na swak dito yung mga tanks na pwedeng pumasok doon sa bagong brush area, doon papunta sa Turtle. And TDZ dito na, nakikita mo na ngayon, binanggit mo to kanina, na mas mabagal ang Claude sa mga ibang junglers.
Totoo
Kasi
yan.
kailangan niya una ng onting damage. Yes, meron siyang double attack with Dexter, pero meron pa talagang mga mas mabibilis na junglers. And with that, look at this! Hajizi level 4 na. Level 3 pa lang si KLBJ.
Sobrang bilis. And with that, ang laking bagay talaga. Given the fact na meron kang Lito Wonder, other than the 1% mana regeneration per second, you will also get that 15% movement speed.
Yun!
Especially kapag nakakuha ng isang mobile mage heroes, sobrang bilis niya makakakuha nito. Habang si Chakno naman mukhang nagkaroon ng damage, deadly magic will be applied.
Oo, habang chill lang muna dito ng pokes si Hajizi. But then again, TDZ, looking at the 2 minutes of the game, it's looking like Omega really controlling that wave in the mid lane. So mukhang palaban na talaga na mid lane. There you go, the dragon is now up. At nakuha, of course, ni Hajizi yung turtle. But KLBJ will go for the BMI in. KLBJ nasa loob ng pit, but that is going to be the first blood mula sa KDA machine. Hajizi and company baiting out Execration, getting another Lito Wonder, and probably will poke out the Baksha. Tatakbo na lang ngayon si Kelra palabas, and OMG will take this orange, or mukhang i-reset lang, TDZ.
Nakita natin kanina yung pagkakaposition dito ng Omega, trying to position themselves near the brush area. Kasi kung sino nga naman ang unang makakapwesto dun sa may brush area, siya ang makakalamang kaagad. And also given the fact na nakaready na agad si Hajizi with this retribution, at medyo naiiwan, na-out of position pa ang Execration doon, that really gave them a lot of opportunity getting that gold and that shield. So Omega Esports can play much more aggressively right now.
Yeah, and Ben, kung nakita ko yung item, meron na kagad si Toshi na nabuo niya yung kanyang golden staff. And alam ko, importante yung golden staff right now. Tama ba?
At nakita natin na malaki rin ang advantage na pwedeng ibigay dito ng mga magic items kasi mas mataas din yung stats na binibigay ng mga items bukod sa golden staff. Meron din tayong Clock of Destiny.
Sorry, Clock of Destiny pala. Yeah, gold kasi yung kulay nun.
Oo, kasi gold,
gold yung kulay nun. Clock of Destiny pala. Lollipop.
Mas mataas yung binibigay na stats at mas mabilis din magkaroon ng timer. However, Omega naman, pinipressure nila ngayon, sinasandwich nila ang Execration sa bottom lane.
Yeah, and with this Clock of Destiny, for sure, Toshi will probably sustain out Renjo sa top lane. May onting pressure ngayon na ginagawa ang Omega with Execration. Naho-halt ngayon ang Omega pagdating sa pagkuha nila ng push. Mukhang paunahan lang to sa Turtle, DDZ. But Chakno is here. Here comes the Fearless out. There you go, Deadly Magic onto Chakno. Nice flicker out. Pero tumama din ang Circling Eagle as Heat will just back off. Kelra now popping the poisons. Eto Max, napagamit dito ng dash out. Eto Max will just back off as Omega once again getting another turtle, pare.
Yup, at nakalamang sila agad dito when it comes to positioning sa Omega. Alam nila na wait lang, nasa taas dito si KLBJ. So there's a lot of opportunity for them to take down the turtle again. At si Hajizi ulit ang nakakuha.
Na naman! Gaano ka nakakatakot na to, TDZ? Isang Harley na fully fed. Oh no! Kelra na pa-roll out dito. But where you gonna go? Welcome to MPL. Sabi dito ng OMG, kinumusta si Kelra ng 4, pare?
Tol, talagang na-sandwich siya agad doon sa loob ng Tier 1 turrets. And given the fact na kahit back siya, kahit meron kang additional damage reduction kapag nasa loob ka ng Tier 1 turret, pero 4 yun, walang malakas sa marami, Manji.
Wala talaga. And TDZ, tama ba na pwede nating sabihin na at this moment, unti-unting lumalamang ang Omega dahil dito sa mga kills na ginagawa nila? But again, remember, the more na tumatagal yung laban, the more na mas nagiging excited ang Exe.
Totoo yan. Kasi alam naman natin, late game, playstyle ang lamang dito ng Execration.
Here we go. Dragon coming in. Another deadly magic onto Chaknu. Chaknu with the implosion.
Ooh.
Tatama sa dalawa dito. But nothing will follow it up. That is Omega catching every skill sa side ng Execration. Chaknu is down for 10 seconds. And mukhang another Little Wanderer na naman masisecure. Renjo also running for his life. Another free kill for the side of Omega. 3-0 pare.
Nakikita natin dito yung mga maliliit na objective na pwedeng ikadagdag when it comes to team fight. Again, Little Wonder is always the key here for Omega, going for all of those pushes and also utilizing the mana regeneration in their favor. Also, Etomax really having a very difficult time nagamit niya lahat ng mga ultimates niya, kahit yung Chaos Assault niya plus the Order of Brilliance para lang makatakas. So wala gaanong magic output dito ang Execration when it comes to that fight.
Nahihirapan silang makipagbakbakan kasi kung iisipin mo TDZ, ang lakas din ng poke mechanics ng side ng Omega dito.
I agree.
Meron kang Valier, meron kang Matilda. You also have the Harley that can poke out. And with the Deadly Magic, kapag nagsabay-sabay lahat yun, sasabog talaga yung mukha mo.
Sasabog talaga, at alam naman natin, it will also amplify yung damage ng Deadly Magic kapag mas marami kang magic damage na nakukuha.
Well, kaya nga Deadly Magic.
Kaya nga talaga sobrang deadly ng magic nito ni Hadjizi. Pero given the point, Kuya Manjin, nakakita mo, alam naman natin ang mga mages, malakas sila.
Yeah,
Umpisa.
yeah,
Medyo tumababa yung place na nila, or rather yung power spike when it comes to Turtle.
Let's see kung makikita natin yung power spike na yan as Renjo will come in. Another Dragon mula dito sa likod. That is the Blazing Duet mula kay LBJ. Pero yung Turtle ay makukuha ngayon dito ni E2 Max. Renjo ngayon, tinatangkin niya lahat ng damage output pero tinamaan pa ng onting baraha dito ni Hadjizi. That is OMG taking another kill. But this time, Exe, makukuha nila yung Turtle. Ang tanong ngayon, TDZ, nabanggit mo na, maganda yung early game ngayon ng Omega, but can they finish the job? Dahil nga pare, 7 minutes na tayo, and sa ganitong marka, kahit pa paano nagkakaparm ng Exe.
Oo, tol. Kasi kailangan nilang hulihin dito si KelVJ. Nakikita natin yung KDA dito ni KelVJ, 1-1-0. At hindi na-check dito ng Omega si KelVJ. At alam naman natin, sabi mo kanina, na si Claude and also si Lunox, kapag tumagal, mas masakit yung damage. At tingin ko, tol, hindi enough yung tankiness dito ni Yuzong para maging frontlines once na umabot tayo ng more than 18 minutes or once umabot tayo ng late game. So yun tingin ko magiging problema dito ng Omega kapag hindi nila natapos itong laro nito as early as possible.
And I think ang dilema dito ng Omega pare, hindi rin sila nagbibuild pa masyado ng defensive items. Leaning forward sila dito, I think, sa damage output nila. Nagme-make sense yung lineup ng Omega dito. I think Heat is opting to go for that Matilda tank. And ang ganda rin kasi dito ng push strat ng isang Valier ni Hayes. So talagang makikita natin ngayon na hindi makalapit ang side ng Execration. Deadly Magic coming in kay Kelra ngayon. KelVJ nag-aabang dito. Kelra soaking a lot of magic damage. Kamuntikan pa nga siya. But then again, Exe will manage to definitely defend this tower. At bakit nga ba nangyari to, Tads? Bakit ba tumatagal ang laro?
Kasi nakikita natin with the Tortoise Puissance, dumadagdag yung backsha mark dito. Mas tumataas yung damage resistance niya when it comes to magical damage. And actually lahat kahit physical damage na re-reduce niya. So yun yung ginagawang timing dito ng Execration. Okay lang na mahuli dito si Chaknu or si Kelra at mas nakakapag-farm dito yung mga core nila.
Pero may damage out na si KelVJ. May onting shield dito si Hayes. Pero hindi magiging enough yun dahil nila siya ngayon ni Ito Max. Pero sabi ni Ito Max, siya na lang daw muna magiging sacrificial lamb para dito sa side ng Execration. Hayes and Ito Max down for 20 seconds, but it's still OMG pressuring the mid lane right now. Flowing blood coming in para kay Toshi dito. TDZ, nakakatakot na. Si KelVJ, mage lahat sa OMG. Yes, ang hirap niyong ma-penetrate, pero kapag tumama yung Blazing Duet, nako, aaray ka talaga.
Masakit talaga. Kitang-kita mo naman yung items dito. Meron siyang Demon Hunter Sword plus the Golden Staff, pero mukhang umaatake ngayon ang OMG, trying to control the turtle area.
There we go. Dragon coming in. Chakno Pulado ngayon, but Kelra now chasing a GZ. The KDA machine running away, but you cannot run away from the king. KelVJ, BMI out. May nakamula sa Lord dito, napalaban na lang. Si Paquito ngayon na mawawala, but 3 heroes are now down para sa side ng Omega. Oh no! Is this the late game curse na sinasabi mo, TDZ?
No.
And look at Kelra. Wini-welcome nyo pala ako ngayon sa MPL. Wini-welcome ko kayo ngayon sa sarili ko. Execration will tie up the game 6-6 at sila na lamang sa gold.
Gene, nakita naman natin kung gaano kalakas dito ang impact na kapag nakakuha agad ng dalawang core item dito si KLBJ, meron siyang Raptor Machete, kakakuha lang din ng Queen's Wings dito ni Curtizy, but nakita natin nag-rip out ka agad siya, hindi enough yung damage, wala pa doon si Etomax with the Chaos Assault Bolts. So tingin ko, Omega, they need to play it patiently. Play by the current scenario. Ngayon, nagpo-push na yung Lords at yung Super Minions is parating na. So, they need to play it safe. They need to play it defensively right now.
Yeah, grabe, no? With the snap. Ganun kabilis. Nabaliktad kagad yung laban. And I think, papasok din dito yung binanggit mo kanina eh. Yes, mataas yung damage dito ng OMG, pero hindi kasi ito yung biglaang damage. Magbibigla ang damage lang kapag tumama yung Deadly Magic.
Totoo yan.
Pero kapag wala yun, tapos nasa-soak out din naman ni Kelra, parang baliwala din.
Indeed. At nakikita natin dito, wala sila gaanong physical damage sa side ng Omega. At ngayon, Execration, ngayon ang kumakatok dito sa loob, sa taas. At kasabay nila yung Lord na kumakatok din sa may tier 3 turret sa may taas.
Here we go. The tower is now down. Execration now going towards the mid lane. Another Dragon para kay Curtizy dito. Napalabas na lang si Narenjo. There you go. May stun mula kay Toshi dito. Pero yung camera natin ay naka KLBJ. In-attack siya ni Heat dito. Dalawang magkabilang clash na nangyaring laban. Chakno also falling low as KLBJ and company will just run away. Buhay ang Execration doon sa defensive movements ng OMG. And look at that XP swing. Look at that gold swing, TDZ.
Isang Lord take lang ang katapat para mag-swing ka agad ang net worth sa favor ng Execration. At nakita natin kanina yung playstyle ng Execration, nilalaro lang nila lahat ng damage output ng Omega. At dalawa kasi yung tumatangke sa kanila eh. Meron sila kay Chakno, meron din kay Kelra. So kapag naubos na, kapag nagamit na lahat ng ultimates dito ng OMG, doon sila aatake.
Biruin mo, no, si Kelra na napakaliit, si Chakno na napakaliit din, sila pa yung gumagangster. Sila pa yung tumatangke.
Oo.
Dito kayo na hit, dito kayo na haze. And ngayon, dahil doon, nagkakaroon sila ng kalamangan. Curtizy, kalate ang buhay dito. And again, Kelra, Renjo also joining the fray. 6-6. Mag-aabol ngayon si Renjo ng gigil. Kaya GZ, pero mukhang iiwanan niya na lang siya GZ dito. Oh no, hindi nila papaback. Hindi nila ipapaback siya GZ.
Nako.
Oh no, this is looking bad! Where are you going? Clap, clap, clap! Say hello to Kelra! Nahuli si KDA Machine!
Pero tol, nahuli din si KLBJ doon sa may skirmish na middle lane. Oh no, 40 seconds na wala si KLBJ. So ito nga ba ang hinihintay ng Omega para makahanap ulit ng isa pang swing?
Wow, dalawang swing! Nag-swap lang!
Nag-swap lang!
Yung dalawang junglers dito, yung dalawang bida sa OMG and Execration. But man, what a chase down mula sa Exedon. But KLBJ, masyado ata niya ring tinignan yung nangyari doon sa kabila to the point na pati siya nahuli. So still TDZ, it's still an even ball game. Pero nako, mukhang tumatagilid nga pala ang OMG.
At talagang naghahanap ulit ng isa pang magandang opportunity dito ang Omega. Nakikita natin ang turret counts dito. Meron pang tier 2 turrets on side ng Execration. So there's still a lot of opportunity na makakuha ulit ng additional gold dito ang Omega. But look at the items of a GZ here. Holy Crystal, Calamity Reaper, Feather of Heaven. At tingin ko kukuha pa siya ng isa pang core item dito. Ang kailangan lang nilang i-focus is maghanap sila ng opening na wala si Chakno at wala si Kelra para ma-burst out nila si KLBJ ulit. Kasi nakita natin, nung nawala si KLBJ, medyo naging passive dito yung galawan ng Execration. They're playing around the brushes para makahuli sila ng isa pang character, ng isa pang hero from Omega.
Kasi kung iisipin mo na kay KLBJ lahat ng damage output eh. Yes, may damage ito max, pero yung AOE na burst, lahat na kay Kel eh.
Lahat na kay
Parang
Kel
set up ang kay Etomax, set up ang kay Renjo. Kung isipin mo ngayon sa OMG, they need to position themselves right. Kailangan din nila ng magandang kuha dito or probably pick off dito ng dalawang heroes. So we shall see as both of the teams now dancing with the Lord. Here we go. Nagkakaroon ng onting pokes dito. Pulado ngayon si Heat. That is the mortality. Heat ang magiging main target dito. Heat, circling eagle. Heat, will he go down? Yes. Naku po. 4 on 5. Execration right now, hoping to get this free Lord. And oh no, mispositioning ata yun para sa side ng Omega, pare.
I agree, tol. Tagang naiwan dito si Heat. Hindi tinantanan ng Execration. Kailangan agad mahuli natin to si Heat dito. Kasi with the additional gold or with the additional shield that he can provide, that will completely shut down the sustainability of Omega.
Speaking of sustain, kaya ma-out-sustain ni Curtizy ang damage output ni KLBJ! Nag-proc pa nga dito yung killing spree. And look at Kelra, hindi nyo mapatay. At si Kel BJ, uubusin na daw sila. DMI in, sabay orange buff pa, sabay sabi ni Kel, may wagon, tatapusin na natin. Anong accident? The King is here. Execration getting game number 1.
Malupit na mind games ang pinakita sa atin ng dalawang team sa total. Talagang nagbigyan sila ng pagkakataon. Okay lang na lumamang kayo ng una, pero kapag nakahanap kami ng opportunity, and with that Lord take toll, hindi enough kasi yung yung walang physical damage when it comes to taking the Lord. At sobrang bilis na makakuha ng Lord dito with the Golden Staff and the Demon Hunter Sword para kay Kel VJ. At tingin ko yun yung naging turnaround ng Execration with that fight.
TDZ, nabanggit mo kanina na, man, kapag nag-late game, GG's talaga. And ladies and gentlemen, that winning moment is brought to you by Oppo A94. Experience gaming at full speed with Oppo A94. Available starting March 26 in Oppo concept stores, retail partners, and e-com platforms. What a game na natungayan natin. Tama lahat ng sinabi mo, men. No damage output kapag umabot ng 10 minutes lagpas. Kayang-kaya na ng X.
Kayang-kaya kasi, pati ang ganda kasi ng pagkaka-last 2 picks dito ng Execration. Tigreal, tapos Baksha, Tortoise Puissance plus the Baksha mark. Ang laki ng damage reduction na kayang i-negate dito ng Baksha.
Yeah.
And alam naman natin kapag mage ka, yung mga skills nagko-cooldown. So walang physical attack, walang physical damage na kayang i-deal dito. Or meron man mga basic attacks pero not enough for them to take down the 2 front lines of Execration.
Pero kung iisipin mo, nakita natin dito yung plano pala talaga ng OMG eh. Diba, they're dominating. But the problem, yes, sabi mo, nagko-cooldown yung skills. Bukod sa damage output, wala din silang pampush eh.
Wala silang pampush.
Sino yung nagpupush ngayon eh, di ba? Oo.
Kaso hindi mo pwedeng i-rely lahat ng turret damage doon sa mga minions. So, I think there's a lot of adjustments sa side ng Omega dito for our next game.
Napakarami. Ano-ano ba yung mga adjustments na yan? That is the late game for the side of Execration. Full mages para sa Omega. Well, alamin natin, TDZ, ang analysis ngayon ni Midnight.
Thank you so much, casters. Hindi kinaya ng Kama ang hari natin and hindi rin kinaya ng Omega ang Execration. Welcome to the Analyst Desk. My name is Midnight and pag-usapan natin ano ba yung mga naging key factors dito para sa victory ng Execration. 1, full mages lineup ang Omega. They're easily countered by Athena Shield, even the Queen Swings on the Pakito. Kasi napakadali lang talaga i-reduce ng damage output ng Omega. All you need to do is just sustain the early game and go for the late game. You just need to have enough HPs to survive the fights and not let Omega take objectives. Tama yung mga sinabi ng ating mga casters. Late game, alam mo na Execration ng lamang na lamang dahil nasa kanila lahat ng damage output. Omega, meanwhile, had the early game control. They had the early game advantage. They have enough damage naman to take objectives. Problem is, they weren't able to do so. After the first 4 minutes, isang tore lang yung napabagsak nila, and that is why it came to that point where Execration won the late game. Now, the following post-game statistics are brought to you by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of MPL. Free to game great with Smart, free games for all. Papakita natin sa inyo yung items tsaka stats ng mga players natin dito. Again, key things to take note, no, yung itemization dito ng Execration. Kelra and Chaknu first built the Athena Shield. Kasi countered talaga yung lineup ng Omega. You wouldn't have enough damage on the mid to late game because 4 heroes on your side are reduced heavily. Curtezy, siya na lang nagkaroon ng enough effectivity on the latter parts of the game, pero hindi naman siya kasi main damage dealer. The objective of Yuzong is to have team fight presence with your ultimate. Dagdag pa natin dyan yung mga hero nuances, no, ng Execration. You have Lunox that can easily dodge away the ultimate of the Harley. Pakito, very mobile, can catch easily off guard the heroes on the side of Omega, and yan yung mga dahilan bakit naging napakahirap talaga ng late game ng Omega dito against Execration. Now, we're about to witness the highlights here, brought to you again by Smart, official Deco partner of MPL. Free to game great with Smart, free games for all. And just a bit makikita natin yung mga key moments dito, no, ng early game, mid game, and the late game. Kasi kailangan natin i-dissect kung bakit parang naging easy game ito for Execration. Kasi mararamdaman nyo na parang early game, mas malakas talaga ang Omega. Pero pagkakuha ni Kel VJ na kanyang DHS by 725, hindi na talaga nakalaban ang Omega. Ngayon papakita natin sa inyo yung highlights ng ating game from the early stages of the game, guys. Makikita nyo rito, no, na kaya naman talaga. The first turtle was taken by Omega. Napakaganda ng box establishment ni Curtiz rito with the Yuzong. Zoning out Kelra and the Claude. Hindi talaga basta-basta nakakapasok yung heroes ng Execration, no? Even though they have a Basha and a Tigreal, two heroes that can easily destroy the box, the presence of the Matilda in these fights makes it very, very hard for Execration to try and take out the heroes of Omega. Yung sustain and yung control na pinoprovide ng Matilda tsaka ni Valir is enough to dissuade Execration from fighting. Now, come the mid-game, makikita nyo yung kill score 4-1, but both teams have one tower objectives. This means that Execration, hindi sila masyado natatakot kasi even though we're losing these fights, alam natin na mas late game yung lineup natin. We have better scaling damage and in turn, we just have to delay the game. 9 minutes in, makikita natin Omega tried to take their final objective kasi feeling nila, okay, kailangan na natin yung kunin yung Lord kasi hindi tayo nakakakuha ng objective. By that time, 2K na lang yung kanilang gold lead and si KLBJ, alam niya rito na, okay, kulang na damage output nyo, meron na kaming mga pang-counter sa magic damage. Let's go for the team fight. And makikita niyo rito, no, yung Lunox. He was bursted down by the Harley. Problem is, you can dodge the deadly magic with the Order of Brilliance. That's one factor na hindi naisip ni Hajizi. Might have thought of it, pero again, the Lunox is an easy pick against Harley kasi napakahirap talaga patayin ng Lunox if you are using the Harley. He can just easily dodge the ultimate away. And that is the reason why all heroes on the side of Execration felt very, very confident. And si KLBJ, sabi niya rito, okay, tapos na ang aking mga pananakit sa early game, tatapusin ko na yung game and easily finishing out the turret of Omega Esports. Bakit mo nga naman paabutin ng 16 or 18 minutes kung kaya mo tapusin under 15? That is the first win of Execration. Now, the MVP of that game, this MVP is brought to you again by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of MPL. Break through your own limits, rise above, and be free to game great with free games for all. Makikita natin dito sino ba yung naging standout for this game, and I highly think that it's the man that you are thinking as well, no? Yung performance ng mga players dito, key indicator that they are really, really doing fantastically well. And makikita natin yung MVP of that game. Of course, it is the King, KLBJ on the Claude with KDA of 525, 13,000 net worth, damage dealt of 59,063, and objective damage of 10,250. Very, very easy Claude game for the King. Farm lang tayo, kunin natin yung mga items natin, gather the net worth, and just make it easy for the team. Paabutin lang natin ng late game and hindi na makakalaban ng Omega, and those were the keys as to why Execration was able to take out Omega on that first game. Now, titignan natin yung mga adjustments, no? Marami kailangan ayusin actually ang Omega from draft to itemization to rotation. Makikita ba natin yan on game 2 or will Execration close out the series? Casters, back to you.
Napakahirap malaman, TDZ, dahil nga kung iisipin mo, pare, hindi rin naman magbaback out ang OMG, ang Omega, sa laban. Parang nabitin nga ako sa game 1 eh.
Oo, tol, parang medyo nandun na tayo kaso nagkulang lang ng onte. Nagkulang lang ng onte. Lamang sila nung early game, pero sabi nga ni KLBJ kanina, nakapag-farm na ako, eto na ako, tatatatatatat.
Alam niya na eh, no? Actually, yung una, natalo-talo siya. Tapos, biglang nung na-realize nila, hindi, farm na lang tayo.
Farm na lang tayo.
Then nalaman na nila. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, bago tayo mag-start, this tournament is of course presented by our official tournament telco partner, Smart. Free to game, great with Smart, free games for all. Ngayon, ang tanong, kaya nilang magamit yung kanilang pagiging smart sa drafting phase as we are now heading to the draft ng game number 2. What are we expecting right now, TDC? Tingin mo?
Tol, tingin ko, ano dyan, yung mga buffed heroes pa rin. Sylvana, tingin ko, hindi pa rin lalabas yan.
Oo.
YSS, kasi bukod sa ating local scene, since nagbi-build up pa rin tayo ng mga meta, since alam naman natin na every start of the league, yung first series up to second series, doon may kita yung kung paano mag-shape yung meta eh. Pero nakita natin kanina dito, double tank, possible with a big question mark.
Yeah.
Nga ba ang side dito ng Execration? Pero still the same bans for both teams. They're removing all of those assassins na assassin/roamer na talaga malalakas this meta.
Yeah, actually, yung nawala nga na naman dito, assassin/roamer, which is Natalia. Oo, na ayaw talaga, no? Kanina pa binaban ng Execration. PDZ, na-mention mo sa akin yung mga pwede nating makita right now dito sa draft. Pero I wanna talk a little bit doon sa game number 1 pa din. Nabanggit mo na parang baka pwede atang palitan yung Valier.
Oo, yan. Kasi yung Valier kanina, yes, he can dish out damage. Nakapag-dish out siya, makapag-spam siya ng first skill niya. But unfortunately, with the tanks in front, kapag nalapitan ka agad ng Tortoise Puissance, ni Baksha, magagamit ka, mapo-force ka na gamitin mo kaagad yung ano yung push mo eh.
Yung push mo,
yung
di
push
ba?
mo agad eh. Kaso yun lang din yung kapag hindi available yung first skill mo, mahihirapan ka. Parang you can be there on the fight. Pero kapag cooldown lahat yung yung skills mo, mahihirapan ka. Hindi enough yung utility niya, yung skills niya to dish out that much damage na hinahanap para sa Omega.
Even though masakit ang isang
Masakit.
Valier, pero parang kung iisipin mo yung mga projectile,
Mabagal. Pati sobrang mobile din naman kasi ng mga core heroes. Again, Claude, sabi mo, can change that. 3 mages, I think it's enough. Pero gusto ko makita yung 4 mages composition na maging successful. Pero magde-delegate sila ng kahit isang yung composition nila, meron silang way to get out of the fight using the glorious pathway at meron din silang tanky heroes na mag-a-absorb ng
is known na kapag natatalo ng game 1, ang ganda ng nagiging adjustment to the point na nakakambak nila yung series.
Totoo. Kung kumbaga parang testing the waters. Pwede na sabihin na testing the waters dito sa side ng Omega Esports na okay, hindi nag-workout yung buong playstyle, yung buong draft na yon.
For sure, they're really known na maggawa dito ng mga hybrid types of lineups and composition. But then again, TDZ, here we go. You have the Cho Paquito.
Rizla, isa sa mga malalakas na gusto kong makita. Gusto kong makita kasi nakikita ko effective anti-Rizla when it comes to pushing out lanes and more of a team fight oriented. Yun nakikita kong composition dito ng Execration.
Yeah, ito yung isa sa mga heroes na since nagkaroon ng changes sa meta, sa update, baka makita natin.
Baka makita
natin, which is probably pwedeng gamitin nga ng Execration. But then again, the flavor ngayon ng meta, Matilda opening for Exe. It is going to be in the hands of Itomax or Chakno. Meanwhile, Omega starting out strong here.
Ito yon.
You have a Jawhead and you have the Yishun Shin. Napapa-eto yun ka, TDZ.
Tol, kasi jungle control ang unang nakikita ko dito sa side ng Omega Esports. Nakita natin YSS with the Retribution. Isa siya sa mga heroes na sobrang bilis maka-clear out ng jungle creeps.
Yes.
And also with the Jawhead, pwede rin niyang kontrolin or possible early steal ng mga buff ng mga jungle area dito sa side ng Execration.
Especially with the new brush doon sa may purple buff. And I agree with you, TDZ. It's all about the jungle control, the jungle invasion para dito sa Omega. And Hajizi is also known to play one hell of a Yishun Shin.
Yeah.
Isa talaga siya sa kahit nakapikit, kaya niya mag-in-out, in-out. And this time, nandito pa si Heat. Nung nakausap ko last time, TDZ, ang kanyang main na nahihirapan daw na kalaban sa tank role ay from other region na si Leo Murphy. Which is laging ginagamit ang Jawhead. So ngayon, may part sa akin na iniisip na baka makita tayo ng Heat specialty naman with the Jawhead.
Nako, napakalaking opportunity yan dito sa Omega Esports. At nako, Kuya Manjin, mukhang kaya yata doon. Uranus ang pick dito ng Omega Esports. Tingin ko talaga mobile heroes ang pinipili dito ng Omega Esports.
TDZ, ang tagal na wala nitong Uranus sa meta natin and ngayon lang natin ulit makikita to. Ito yung mga ginagamit ng mga uncle natin na kahit pindot-pindot lang, napakakunat.
At Well, gusto ko makita yung battle spell dito ni
ni Uranus. Pero eventually, base sa mga nakikita ko lower tournaments and rank games, may part na kaya nang ma-burn down ang Uranus. Bakit? Dorans, may back siya, tapos may mga sustained damage from the Alice. So, ano ngayon ang pinaplano ng Omega with this Uranus pick?
Tingin ko, they will stick to that early game play style. Nakikita natin dito na si Uranus, pwede siyang gawing offlane. He can easily push or sustain the lane rather with this Radiance passive. Hindi niya kailangan umuwi. Para siyang walking well, tol. Para siyang walking...
ang tanong, is Uranus back? Yun ang tanong. Yun ang tanong. Kasi ako, I highly doubt. No? Again, I highly doubt the hero right now. Pero since this is Omega, baka they will prove us wrong dito sa pick na to. Kasi TDZ looking at the Matilda, looking at the Baksha, and the Alice, ang taas ngayon ng DPS damage and ng sustain ng Exe. Healing from the Alice, Baksha defense, may shields ka pa from the Matilda.
Yeah,
ano pang hanapin mo?
Tingin ko kailangan ng Omega Esports dito yung mga burst heroes. Since ang ganda na ng sustain nila, meron silang Uranus. Medyo risky nga kasi pinili na ng Execration dito yung Baksha plus the Alice eh. Alice, siya yung mga hero na innate na naghahawak or nag-purchase ng Necklace of Durance.
Yeah.
So it is a really risky pick dito sa side ng Omega Esports, but I think they have a plan on top of this.
Yeah.
Sobrang mobile ng first 3 picks dito ng Omega Esports. They just need to get at least one more hero na pwede mag-burst. Sino pa bang mga heroes na pwede gumawa ng ganon? Lunox. Meron silang Farsa. However, Lunox has been banned here by Execration, so they knew na yun ang kailangan nilang gawin. Burst sustain.
Kakasabi mo lang, TDZ. Kakasabi mo lang mga burst.
Yep, I completely agree. Since ang taas na rin ng front lines, ng protection ng front lines dito sa Omega Esports, with the burst damage from Eudora, I think they can make this one work. Pero, tol, itong Eudora nito, hindi pa rin siya enough eh. Tingin ko hindi pa rin siya enough.
Tingin mo?
Yeah, kailangan nila ngayon ng isa pang AOE kasi most of the skills dito ng Omega Esports is really good when it comes to solo heroes.
Yeah.
Smart missiles, yung blood floods dito ni Yisun Shin, and also using the passive as well for using the Heavenly Vow, plus yung Uranus, hindi sila AOE, hindi sila
AOE heavy
Kailangan nila ng isa pa.
Yeah.
At tingin ko isa pang mage hero probably.
Isang mage hero sa Omega, pero actually napauwa ko dito sa Exe. Because it is now the Ling na gagamitin ngayon ni KLBJ. Tapos meron pang kasunod na Eve na nasa likod. So ang taas ng range this time ng Execration, nawala yung Ling sa lineup, nawala yung Ling sa meta. But I think with the help of the Little Wanderer, ay baka pwedeng bumalik nga to.
Yun, indeed. Lahat ng energy, ng mana, mas mabilis mag-refill, mga kaibigan. And also with the rotation from the 15% movement speed kapag nasa well ka, pag nasa river ka, ang bilis ng rotation yan. Also with Eve, the real-world manipulation, once nasa loob ka ng real-world manipulation, yung parang chessboard.
Yeah.
At kapag tumama ka sa gilid, that's 90% slow. And that is enough for Execration or si KLVJ na makahabol using his sling.
This is interesting. Execration with the sustained burst. I think gumawa sila ng risk dito with the Ling. But you have Omega Esports with that last pick, Hayabusa. This is classic Omega we're seeing, TDZ. You also have the Uranus na nagbabalik. Is it Season 3? Ay, Season 5?
Parang ganun yung feeling no?
Season 5 ba ngayon?
Tapos meron pang Hayabusa ulit. And also yung Uranus talaga, gusto ko makita kung ano ang performance dito ni Uranus when it comes to this current matchup from Execration. Pero tol, Manjin, tingin ko dito ang Omega Esports, they're heavily relying on ganking and pick-offs. Since most of their heroes are really good kapag sa mga solo heroes.
It's all about the pick-offs for OMG. And you have the 5v5 Royal Rumble capabilities para dito sa side ng Execration. It is the debut of this hero. Eve is now in MPL. And here we go. Paunahan na naman sa wave clear, TDZ. But look at this.
Inuna ka agad dito yung purple buff. At sabi natin kanina, si Heath with the Jawhead, he can easily disrupt the purple at i-ejector niya lang yung purple buff dito. At habang naghahanap din ng purple buff yung OMG. At tingin ko, Lito Wanderer talaga. Since isa lang yung Lito Wanderer, siya ang magiging priority other than the orange and the purple buff.
Ibang klase dito yung ginawa ng OMG. May napansin ako sa OMG ha. May meta sila ngayon, TDZ, na wave clear agad. Kahit anong mangyari, unahin yung wave para sa Lito.
Tingin ko kaya
ganun yung ginawa eh.
Kaya pala ang play sa nila dito 1-3-1 para first wave clear. Puwersa agad sa Lito Wanderer.
Puwersa agad tapos ginamit dito yung Jawhead. Ngayon ang tanong, how important is that delay na ginawa ngayon ni Heat kay KLBJ? Kuya TDZ.
Tingin ko dito, napakalaking bagay kasi madi-disable mo kaagad si KLVJ moving around the area, but I think he was successful taking it in.
Yeah.
Pero, may iiwan siya sa level. KLVJ, he just hit his level 4 and compared with the solo pressure na pwedeng ibigay dito ng OMG, that is already enough. Hajizi also got his level 4, so meron agad silang vision kung nasan si KLVJ. And look at the minimap, Kuya Manjin.
Ano yun?
Pressure kaagad ng OMG, lahat, almost yung pwestuhan dito ng OMG, dalawa sa middle lane, dalawa sa bottom lane, because after using the Mountain Shocker, meron silang idea kung nasan si Kiel.
Alam nila, no? So talagang tinitignan ngayon ng Omega si Kiel. Actually, ako tumitingin ako ngayon kay Heat, kasi eventually kapag meron ka talagang Jawhead in your lineup, gusto mo na makakuha ka ng vision. Gusto mo na makakuha ka ng scout para alam mo kung saan magpa-farm yung mga kalaban mo. There you go, there's ejector for the Eve! And hindi na tumama yung Thunder's Wrath. Nice! Purify from Etomax to get out of the way.
Ang ganda ng pagkaka-purify niya doon and also utilizing his mobility or with the lack of the mobility. Pero, tol, nakita mo doon level 2 pa lang si Heath. Magkaka-level 3 niya lang.
Yeah.
Lalo kapag nagkaroon siya ng additional points sa kanyang smart missiles, we are expecting a lot of burst damage from OMG.
So talagang alam, this time yung OMG, pare, pumapasok dito yung sinabi mo. Pick off, pick off, pick off. Use the ejector, use the lightning ball from Hayes. This time, Execration, sasagot sila. There you go, real world manipulation para kay Ito Max dito. But the turtle has been slain para kay Haji Z. But the King is coming in with the Tempest of Blades. But Haji Z, right now siya tumatakbo. Dalawa na nawala para sa side ng Exe. May ejector na naman. Renjo soaking in all of the damage. Mapapagamit siya dito, of course, ng kanyang Revitalize as Renjo will just back off. Toshi, napapasok dito. Toshi with a kill. Singling Eagle. Oh, no!
Yun ang magandang opportunity kaya nakakuha sila ng Matilda. Kahit saan ka pumunta, even with the Quad Shadows, once na-click ka ng Circling Eagle, hahabulin ka ni Matilda.
Wow!
Also, with the burst damage from his skill 1 and also KLVJ, inabsorb, hinati. Dito yung Uichi Shadow Kill.
Yeah.
At kita natin dito, yung nangyari kanina sa fight sa turtle area, nakita ni Heath na gumagamit siya ng real world manipulation and also with the damage from the smart missiles, they're able to...
Kaya napagamit ka agad, TDZ, but holding that thought, nagkaroon tayo ng team fight dito. Medyo heavy yun kasi that time nawala si Heath in exchange for Kelra, and dahil doon sa nangyaring team fight na in-explain mo lang ngayon, parang nakabalik na kagad ang Excel. Look at this!
Wow!
Napaka-aggressive ng Execration, pumasok hanggang doon sa second tower at nako mukhang na-disrupt ngayon ng OMG, but eto Max will pay for the price. Meanwhile, Toshi just doing the classic Omega things, splitting up the map and pushing the tower in the top lane. So yes, naging aggressive ngayon ng Exe, pero parang bitin pa rin.
Bitin pa rin
parang
talaga.
Mas OMG pa rin ngayon na nagko-control ng laban.
Indeed, I completely agree. At nakikita natin dito sa may net worth, 13.8, almost 14K. Pero ang ginagawa din ng Omega, control the purple buff as early as possible. Huwag natin bigyan ng purple buff dito si KLVJ para ma-stop at least yung kanyang power spike.
Yung power spike na mukhang makikita na natin ngayon as Kelra will actually take down Hayes. Actually, si Eto Max pa yun, pero eto na. Si KLVJ, siya lang mag-isa dito. Let's see Tempest of Blades. Pero madadash out to. Pero kailangan na ni Chakno pumunta. KLVJ with again another risky play. Wow! Execration now taking control of the turtle.
Ang ganda ng pagka-prioritize dito ng Execration. Nakita natin na okay, humahabol dito si Hadjizi. That's the main priority. But look at this, circling eagle na naman at KLBJ magiging next target. Mukhang makakatakas dito si Kiel.
Tuloy-tuloy ata yung aggression dito pare, no? Kiel!
Wow!
Wow! Surviving!
Ang lupit doon, tol, ni Chakno. Yung guiding wind niya, giving additional shield para kay KLBJ na makatakas.
The guiding wind with the soul bloom. The
my.
Jack Mamba with the assist pare, napakalupit. What a play to save his ally. Poging-pogi si Chakno doon, malamaster.
Wow, ibang klase. Talagang hinanap niya, hinintay niya muna. Sige, dito pumunta with the guiding wing. Shook, merong additional shield. Nakatakas agad with the movement speed. At yun yung kailangang itignan ng OMG kasi dapat malaman nila kung nasan si Chakno. It's either take down Chakno as early as possible or burst down KLVJ instead.
Speaking of burst, gusto nilang i-burst kaagad si Renjo dito. Actually, Omega, I think they're fully aware, TDZ, na kailangan laging online yung team fight. Hindi pwedeng nagpapahinga yung team fight nila as KLBJ is now falling low. And men, I think nakaligtaan na rin natin pag-usapan. Yes, maganda yung pinapakita ng Exe dito. But look at Kurt TZ right now. The Uranus with 0 deaths.
Wow.
TDZ, tinanong kita kanina kung nagbabalik na ba yung hero na to. Mukhang sinasabi ng Omega, oo.
Tol, kaya. Brute Force Breastplate plus the Oracle. Ang bilis niya kaagad makapunta sa mga team fight. And look at this, talagang hinaharang niya na binabasok niya si Chakno and also Renjo. And it's really courageous. Pumasok siya sa loob ng real-world manipulation.
Yeah, tumama nga lahat ng Mountain Chakra doon sa real-world manipulation. But again, OMG, napakakunat pa rin nila. Kelra is down for 10 seconds. But wow! Oh, man, ang aksyon ng laban na to, hindi ko na malaman kung saan ako titingin. Ang tinitignan ko na lang, sino ba nakakuha ng tamang trade? Sino ba nakakuha ng mas magandang trade? And I think, halos lahat na pupunta sa Omega eh.
Lahat. I completely agree sa positioning, sa trade-ups, sa prioritization ng mga heroes na tinatarget nila, kuhang-kuha dito ng OMG. But we need to keep in mind, Execration, na kapag si KLVJ nakahanap ng isa pang core item on top of the Demon Hunter Sword, mas mahihirapan dito ang Omega pag tumapat na naman tayo sa late game.
Pwede makabalik TDZ, no? Pero I think, bilang isang co-marksman myself, I can therefore say, pare, na pag nag-miss si KLBJ dito ng burst para kay Hadjizi, kayang-kayang patumbahin ng Yihun Shin ng Link.
Indeed.
Oo, but again, malalaman natin yan kung mangyayari man yan as Team OMG is still putting on the aggressive movements, ruthless aggression. Ang kanilang pinapakita nila, parang hindi nila pinapahinga yung Exe.
Hindi talaga nila papahingahin yan kasi ganun talaga yung composition dito ng OMG. They need to go for the ganks. They need to always continue with the fight kasi kapag nakahanap na magandang champion dito ang Execration at na-counter sila parang ganito. Nako, mahihirapan dito ang OMG within the next 5 minutes or within the next 2 minutes or so.
At parang kanina pag ginagawa dito yung mga guiding wind, no? Kelra now coming in. Here comes he. Napakaganda Thunder Strat. And there you go, the real world manipulation na mula lahat sa side ng OMG pero lumabas sila.
Nako.
Lumabas sila dun sa chessboard, tol.
Tol, hindi talaga nila kailangan makipaglaban dun sa loob ng chessboard kasi kapag nandun sila with the counts from Etomax's ultimate, mauubos sila doon. Kapag in-swipe mo kasi yun, tol, yung real world, slow.
Super slow yun eh.
Tapos yung pag mo naman, damage, napakasakit.
Kumbaga kung ihalin tulad mo sa totoong buhay, yun yung mga tropang kagawad na nakalinya. Naglalagay dito ng caution, lockdown kami. Pero sabi ng OMG, hindi. Lalabas kami. Hindi kami pwede mag-stay dyan, hindi kami pwede mag-quarantine dyan.
Naka-box out dun, tol. Nako, yun ang nagiging playstyle dito ng Execration. And look at the items here, ladies and gentlemen. Enchanted Talisman para kay Kelra. At si Kelra ang hero na di natin gaano napapansin.
Oo, sumasakit na din ha.
Sumasakit na rin.
Ang sinasabi mo pala dito, TDZ, yes, may death si Kelra dito, but that is an Alice. So, ibig sabihin dito, TDZ, ang gusto ng Exe is doon mangyari yung laban sa loob ng manipulation na yon. Kasi gusto nila tabi-tabi sila.
Totoo yan. At alam din ng OMG na okay, lamang sila sa teamfight. Tingnan mo naman, si Kelra, sinigurado ni Chakno na bago siya ma-ejector dito ni Heath, nagamit na yung kanyang guiding wind. So kahit sobrang layo niya, pwede agad siyang pumunta doon kay Chakno for that more
So ang ibig sabihin ba nito, TDZ, is hindi na kagad makaka-pick off ang OMG? Kasi parang ganun yung nangyari. Sa last 2 team fights na nakita natin, yes, nakakawala ang Omega, pero yung mga attempts nila ay unti-unting nag-fail.
Indeed, kasi aware na rin ng Execration dito na, okay, kapag meron na iwang isa, kayang-kayang i-burst kaagad ng OMG. It's either by Toshi or it's either by Hajizi.
Yeah.
So respect ang ginagawa dito ng Execration.
Respeto, Ricardo. Sama-sama puwersa. There you go! Real-world manipulation sa bayong Vlad Odd sa loob! Kelra, ladies and gentlemen, with the Vlad Odd. Nako, Toshi ngayon ang magiging main target. Kelra, inaabot siya. Oh, flowing blood. And sabay second skill. Toshi na paggamit na ng blades. Pero nakuryente na nga. Oh no! 2 heroes are now down for OMG. Kelra also, kakamagit mo lang, Tads. Flowing blood in. Double kill na rin. Mounting Chacarino. Mapapatumba si Kelra, but still, tatlo na yung napatumba. 10-10 is the scoreline. Lamang ang OMG. We have ourselves a great ball game, TDZ.
Indeed. At nakita naman natin, Hajizi, unti-unti na siyang nakakaroon ng kanyang items. Endless battle pickup for this guy. 215 ang kanyang KDA. And also BOD. So masakit na talaga ang damage dito. Especially using the passive, the Heavenly Bow. Kapag nakahanap siya ng magandang positioning dito, it's kahit si KelVJ, kailangan niya laging gamitin or keep in mind kung bago niya gagamitin kanyang ultimate to get out of the fight. So parang parang double-sided coin yan eh. It's either gagamitin mo yung ultimate mo pang aggressive para mahuli si Hajizi. Pero after using your ultimate, you need to make sure na mapapatay mo si Hajizi in a burst.
Yeah, ang hirap din kasi sa isang Alice, maghihintay ka ng damage eh. Hindi mo minsan, hindi mo calculated eh.
Totoo.
Kung i-tap mo eh, alam mo lang magsusurvive ka, but Hajizi magsusurvive pa ba siya dito? Mukhang hindi na. Naku po, tinamaan pa nga siya dito ng Void Blast. Oh no! Kelra and company now owning OMG. Dalawa na wala sa side ng OMG. There you go, na super slow pa nga. But Toshi from the back. There you go. Napalaban pa. Renjo magiging main target. Nasa loob ngayon ng Execration. Can Toshi do it? Oh no, Kelra and KelVJ, the double K connection is here. Execration will wipe out Omega.
Nakita natin yung positioning dito ng Execration. Magaling silang pumili ng fight. Nakita nila na maganda yung pagkakalagay dito ng real-world manipulation ni Etomax, and that gave them a lot of opportunity. And I saw them earlier na nakakuha siya ng Ice Queen 1 to slow them down.
And TDZ tapos ata.
Nako.
Tapos ata.
Nako.
Kelra and Kiel, ladies and gentlemen. Kalahati dito ngayon ang base. At ngayon napalaban pa ang OMG. Kamuntikan pa. At sa wakas nakita na natin the debut ng bagong partnership. Kaibigan TDZ.
Nako.
Kelra and Kiel. What a combo.
Pakagandang movement dito. The Kelra and KelVJ connection. Talagang alam nila kung sino ipa-prioritize nila when it comes to that fight. But again, another fight na naman. Umalis ka agad ang OMG sa real-world manipulation.
Nahihirapan sila sa slow nun eh.
Oo, man. At talaga nakikita mo naman, si KelVJ umaatake na naman. Able to take down the Jawhead out of the play. 2-4-1 exchange.
Ibang klase pare, the sustain. And now nag-overstay ang OMG. Nag-overchase sila. Execration. Again, another late game winning situation na pwedeng mangyari dito. Tatlong hero ngayon ang buhay sa side ng OMG, pero may revitalize dito ngayon ang side ng Exe. Toshi, he wants to target Chakno. Chakno with the circling eagle in. Matatarget si Toshi dito. Soul Bloom coming in. Toshi, oh my glove. Naging super sacrifice na lang para lang ma-distract ang Execration, pero mukhang hindi mangyayari on TDC dahil makatuloy pa rin ang Lord Dance natin. Heat right now. There you go, may ma-ejector siya. Pumasok mo lang si Kurt dito. The Uranus, but the Lord will go in the hands of the King. Kelra papasok na naman. There you have it. Hajizi Polado at mukhang tapos na. TDC ang laban. Heat na palaban pa. But then again, Kurt, can he manage to survive this? Mukhang hindi.
At ang sakit talaga ng damage dito ng Execration. 4-4-2 exchange. Nakita natin yung fight dito. Again, with the real-world manipulation plus the ultimate here from KelVJ. Huling-huli ka agad. Tinanggal agad nila si Heat out of the picture. At dun sila naging confident na okay, sige, atin to. Walang unstoppable force, walang ejector. Makakagalaw agad si Kelra. And also with the mobility na binibigay dito ni Chakno, mas mabilis mas mabilis mag-reposition dito yung Execration, and that's, I think, the reason why they won that fight.
At mukhang it's game. TDZ,
Nako.
it is Execration with a 2-0 debut dito sa MPL Season 7.
Wow, tol, Execration, sobrang init. 2-0 sa Omega. At
At hindi ganun kadali patumbahin
Hindi ganun kadali.
ang Omega. Your M2 representatives. But then again, is brought to us by Head and Shoulders. Put your game face on and finally say goodbye to those awkward hashtag itch a
ang nangyari, at tingin ko talagang cool na cool din ang feeling dito ng Execration after that.
Maraming salamat para doon sa game 1 na yon. Again guys, alamin pa natin, i-dissect natin yung laban.
Secure their first 2-0. Napakagandang impression na talaga ito. Against all the teams. Welcome back. He shows a lot as he knows what the conditions are. For Execration this game, no? Alam niya na ang kailangan niya lang gawin dito is survive the opportunity to abuse that against Execration. Kasi iniiwasan lang sila, hindi sila nilalab. Ito, yung mga stats and yung mga items ng ating mga players for that specific game. I really want to highlight one important aspect of the itemization and the base of Omega. This allows and the Uranus, all he needs to do is take out the Yisunshin and the Hayabusa. Yan lang naman yung mga priority targets ng Execration. Now, Hadizi bought a Wind of Nature after the end of the battle and the Blade of Despair, pero it was all for naught as the Alice went on to dominate the late game as well alongside the Ling, and that is what made the game easier for Execration. Itemizations are very, very key for these heroes. Now, following post-game, the highlights are brought to you by Smart, official tournament telco partner of MPL. Feel free to game great with Smart. Free games for all. Makikita natin yung mga key points or yung mga turning moments dito for Execration. Again, we have to keep in mind that Omega, they have secured themselves the Jawhead and Eudora, pero Execration, with their moves, with their fantastic decisions and map movements, naiwasan nila yung early game threat ng Omega dito. Again, these following highlights are brought to you by Head and Shoulder. Put your game face on and finally say goodbye to those awkward hashtag itch-a-GG moments thanks to Head and Shoulder. 100% dander-free and itch-free. Now, mas mabango pa. And ito yung mga mababangong moments for Execration on that specific game. Again, Omega, they really had the advantage on the early game heroes as they had the Joy and Eudora. They can threaten objectives earlier on. Makikita natin dito sa first turtle fight natin, Omega was really looking really great as the box was established by the Joy and Eudora. But counterpart is the Eve was able to establish his own territory. If you haven't used Eve yet, it's a very strong hero that can contest objectives from your enemies. Kasi with his ultimate, you can threaten out-positioned heroes. And such as on that third fight, they found themselves in a very, very, very good position. Even though Omega sila pa rin nakakuha ng turtle. But that is to be expected. They have the early game lineup. But they don't have enough damage yet to dominate Execration. Kaya pagdating ng mid-game, kinakaya silang labanan ng Matilda and ng Alice kasi hindi pa rin talaga sapat yung damage output nila against the sustain of the Matilda and Kelra. Now, fantastic initiations by Chakno actually on the Matilda, waiting for the dash of the Yi Sun-shin first before committing with Kelra alongside him. Napakagandang mga pasok dito from the Matilda and the gang. And of course, establish once again the ultimate of Eve. It allows Execration to dominate a certain area or dominate a place wherein Omega cannot really fight. And that allows KLBJ to look for other targets on the back line. Being the Ling, being one of the best assassins in the game, you can look for any outpositioned enemy heroes outside the box that has been already established by the Eve. Makikita nyo rito multiple times, they have been consistently getting pickoffs against Omega. That is why Hajizi, even though he was very, very defensive with his playstyle, he gathered 2 deaths around 14-minute mark, something that the KDA machine doesn't really do in terms of his gameplay with the Yi Sun-shin. Kasi sobrang playsip ni Haji but with this kind of lineup, napakahirap talaga maglaro ng Yi Sun-shin kasi nai-establish yung box ng kalaban mo and may Ling pa na pwedeng lumabas ng box. So kumbaga isipin nyo, dalawang cellphone yung teritoryo ng Execration pagdating sa teamfights. And after all that, it was just the late game prowess of the Alice and the Ling. The amount of damage and the amount of sustain are there for Execration, and Omega have to bow out against Execration. 2-0 clean score for the gang. That's gonna gather them 3 points. Pero kailangan natin koronahan ang ating MVP. This MVP is brought to you by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of MPL. Break through your own limits, rise above, and be free to game great with free games for all. I'm pretty sure kilala pa rin natin yung magiging MVP natin dito. No? Although napakaraming options sa side ng Execration as they did fantastically well. Napakaraming highlight plays nitong mga players ito. But we have to crown one specific MVP. We're gonna show you in just a bit. There you go. The King, Kel VJ on the Ling. KDA of 807. Net worth of 11,127, damage dealt 65,231, and objective damage of 10,978. If you look at the stats, no, sobrang balanced out. The KDA is good, the net worth is overall good, damage dealt is really, really high, specifically when your main job is just to farm, and you're alongside an Alice that primarily deals the damage for your team, but KLBJ didn't really let go of the pedal as he knew that he had the advantage moving on to the late game. And that is Execration taking 2-0 against Omega. Now, we are going to be waiting for the next match, but I'm really excited for future games here in MPL. Casters, back to you.
Napakaraming salamat sa napakagandang analysis. Midnight. TDZ, ang masasabi ko lang, what a way to start off the season.
Tol, ibang klase. Kasi kanina, pinag-usapan natin na bago mag-start yung laro, makakakita tayo ng mga kakaibang draft, mga kakaibang playstyle. Sinurpresa tayo ng Omega with that 4-mage composition.
Yeah.
And also with the Yuzong on top of that from Game 1. Tingin ko, gana siya eh. Okay siyang gumana. Kaso, hindi lang na-counter siya kagad ng last 2 picks dito ng Execration. But let's see kung mag-workout din ba yun sooner or later. And with that Game 2, I was really surprised, Tol. Yung Matilda.
Wow, we're all surprised. We're all surprised. But then again, before anything else, MPL Philippines Season 7 is presented by our official tournament telco partner, Smart. Free to game great with Smart. Free games for all. Bago ang mga nakita natin with that game, bagong season, bagong history. Ako po pala si Manjin Faldas at eto si TDZ. Huwag kayong aalis, guys. Nako, ang next match natin, pare, it's going to be Work Auster Force, their debut versus
Aura PH.
Wow, napakainit yan. Ladies and gentlemen, maraming pong salamat. Huwag kayong aalis dahil magbabalik ang MPL Season 7.
Welcome to the Giga Life. Your passions, your stories, your life. Simplified with just one app. This is the future. The Giga Life in just one tap. Experience more Giga moments when you make the smart choice. With the Philippines' fastest mobile data network. How do I know is T1. Simple, smart ako.
Moment na sana, pero hassle ang kati. Yung kati na yan, dahil sa dandruff yan. You need Head and Shoulders. Unlike beauty shampoos, tanggal ang dandruff that causes kati. No more hassle sa moment. Goodbye na sa kati, dahil 100% dandruff.
When you look inside a JanSport backpack, you see a story that started in 1967. Since then, our mission has expanded to helping protect our environment for future generations to enjoy. It's a work in progress, but just this season we've used the equivalent of 13 million bottles worth of recycled polyester in our most popular backpacks. When you look inside a JanSport pack, you see our commitment to this brilliant blue planet we call home. And we're just getting started.
Hi everyone, this is Catherine Bernardo.
At ako naman po si Daniel Padilla. Guys, may PayMaya na ba kayo?
Kung wala pa, dapat mag-download na kayo sa Google Play or App Store dahil ito na ang puso kong bayad mo.
Ang PayMaya is a mobile payment app using only your cell phone and you can pay practically anything, kahit online transactions pa yan.
With PayMaya, hindi mo na kailangan magdala ng cash for your day-to-day expenses. Pwede kang magbayad ng bills, bumili ng prepaid load, mag-online shopping, mag-send money, magbayad gamit ng QR code at marami pang iba.
Pero ang the best part dito ay may balikbayan.
Each time you use PayMaya, may balik sa'yo na cashback at rewards, kaya sulit ang oras mo dahil hindi mo na kailangan pumila and you can just pay using your app anytime, anywhere.
Kaya guys, huwag kakalimutan, pag may babayaran ka,
Don't pay cash, pay Maya.
Hey guys, I'm here with Kate and Bea.
Bad timing ang kati. Baka dandruff yan? Use Head and Shoulders every day. Unlike beauty shampoos, tanggal ang dandruff that causes kati. Para di pa balik-balik, kati gone for good na. Dahil 100% dandruff-free ka.
Hi guys, I'm here with Kate.
Para araw-araw, close na close. Max pinabango pa.
What do you do when what you desire is beyond reach?
You use power that breaks barriers. The Giga Life.
Now in 5G.
Do you believe this is possible?
I do.
How do you know?
Simple, smart, ako.
Inevitable.
Express your online business. Express your online business.
Welcome to the Giga Life. Your passions, your stories, your life. Simplified with just one app. This is the future. The Giga Life in just one pack. Experience more Giga moments when you make the smart choice. With the Philippines' fastest mobile data network. How do I know is T1? Simple, smart ako.
na sana, pero hassle ang kati. Yung kati na yan, dahil sa dandruff yan. You need Head and Shoulders. Unlike beauty shampoos, tanggal ang dandruff that causes kati. No more hassle sa moment. Goodbye na sa kati dahil 100% dandruff.
When you look inside a JanSport backpack, you see a story that started in 1967. Since then, our mission has expanded to helping protect our environment for future generations to enjoy. It's a work in progress, but just this season, we've used the equivalent of 13 million bottles worth of recycled polyester in our most popular backpacks. When you look inside a JanSport pack, you see our commitment to this brilliant blue planet we call home. And we're just getting started.
Hi everyone, this is Catherine Bernardo.
At ako naman po si Daniel Padilla. Guys, may PayMaya na ba kayo?
Kung wala pa, dapat mag-download na kayo sa Google Play or App Store dahil ito na ang pusong pangbayad ngayon.
Ang PayMaya is a mobile payment app using only your cell phone and you can pay practically anything, kahit online transactions pa yan.
With PayMaya, hindi mo na kailangan magdala ng cash for your day-to-day expenses. Pwede kang magbayad ng bills, bumili ng prepaid load, mag-online shopping, mag-send money, magbayad gamit ng QR code at marami pang iba.
Pero ang the best part dito ay may balik-bayad ka pa.
Each time you use PayMaya, may balik sa'yo na cashback at rewards, kaya sulit ang oras mo dahil hindi mo na kailangan pumila and you can just pay using your app anytime, anywhere.
Kaya guys, huwag kakalimutan, pag may babayaran ka,
Don't pay cash, pay Maya.
Hey guys, I'm here with Kate and Bea.
Bad timing ang kate. Baka dandruff yan? Use Head and Shoulders every day. Unlike beauty shampoos, tanggal ang dandruff that causes kate. Para di pa balik-balik, kati gone for good na. Dahil 100% dandruff-free ka.
Hi guys, I'm here with Kate.
Para araw-araw, close na close. Max pinabango pa.
What do you do when what you desire is beyond reach?
You use power that breaks barriers. The Giga Life.
Now in 5G.
Do you believe this is possible?
I do.
How do you know?
Simple, smart, acro.
Inevitable.
Express your online business. Express your online business.
Welcome to the Giga Life. Your passions, your stories, your life. Simplified with just one app. This is the future. The Giga Life in just one tap. Experience more Giga moments when you make a smart choice. With the Philippines' fastest mobile data network. How do I know it's T1? Simple, smart, ako.
Patuloy ang aksyon sa MPL Philippines Season 7. Ako po si Mara Aquino. MPL Philippines Season 7 is presented by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of the MPL. Feel free to game great with Smart Free Games. Ngayon naman mga kapatid, pwede nyo itong Smart Free Games for All. Meron din tayong mythical raffle draw. Ito yung inaabangan ko na ma-reward ng ating mga manonood syempre sa inyong participation. So napaka-exciting ng ating mythical raffle draw. All you have to do is scan yung QR code na nakikita nyo sa TV. Pag in-scan yan, mapupunta kayo sa isang site na merong mga tanong. 4 na tanong yan for this week, and the 10 winners for that contest will get to have epic skin, diamonds. So kung sa tingin nyo, alam nyo lahat ng mga nagaganap dito sa Mobile Legends Bang Bang, yung mga heroes, yung mga teams and players, subukan ang inyong galing doon at baka kayo ang manalo ng mga papremyo, skins, diamonds, pwede nyong gamitin yan. At eto, hindi lang yan ang gusto namin ibigay para sa ating mga manonood, meron din tayong lucky number draw. So yung mga ID nyo sa Mobile Legends, kapag tugma yun sa mga numero, yung last 2 digits, kapag tugmayan, pwede kayong manalo ng mga papremyo. Ang last 2 digits, if your number ends with 09, 04, or 00, pwede kayong manalo ng mga in-game prizes natin. All you have to do is scan yung QR code na yan, fill up the form, apat kayo ang mga first 3,000. Congratulations sa inyo. Marami kayong makukuha para dyan. Eto na, mga manonood dito, meron tayong isa pang laban na talagang inaabangan ng mga tao. Work Auster Force versus Aura-PH. Pag-usapan natin yung kasama ang ating mahusay na casters, Manjin Valdez and Leo. Manjin, Leo, first day, how is it so far?
Intense kaagad para sa akin yung first day, bagong set, bago lahat. And, well, total, lagi tayong hype kapag laging day 1 mag-MPL eh. Oo. Actually, natuwa ako na ganun yung kinalabasan ng Game 1. Nakakita tayo kagad ng glimpse ng mga pagbabago.
Ako, man, sasabihin ko lang disappointed ako. Kasi gusto ko 3 games. Gusto ko may bawi. Bitin. Okay? Pero agree ako, naninibago ako dito. Ang daming bago. Again, Mara, nice to have you on board.
Oh, thank you.
But, again, it's all for the fans, and what an honor it is to be back in the MPL.
Yeah, intense lahat. Ako, knowing MPL in Season 1, ang dami ng pinagbago, man. Para sa akin, proud na proud ako na nakita natin to ngayon. And napakalupit. Next game, excited din ako.
At ang hindi nagbabago, syempre, MPL Philippines Season 7 is presented by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of the MPL. Break through your own limits, rise above, and be free to game great with free games for all. Get 1 gig a day for Mobile Legends, Facebook gaming, and more. Plus, free 1 gig a day for 7 days. Just dial *123# or download the GigaLife app and choose free games. Ngayon, ang susunod na laban natin, grabe. Ito, Aura-PH kontra Work Auster Force. Pero, i-welcome muna natin ang mga manlalaro ng Aura-PH.
Your team is banning.
Manjin, Leo, yung mga ibang koponan, maraming veterano, okay? Pero dito sa Aura, meron tayong mga roster changes. May mga pagbabago tayo dito. They traded their mainstay. Sa tingin niyo ba tamang formula ito?
Para sa akin, ang formula ngayon ng Aura ay talagang nakakatakot. With having Benny Cutie and Lord Hades in, hindi ko na ngayon malaman kung sino ba magiging main carry dito sa team ng Aura-PH. I can therefore say, nung pagpunta ko sa mga kanya-kanyang bootcamp, na fortunate ako na nakilala ko sila, ang masasabi ko lang dito sa Aura-PH, tinatapos nila yung sentences ng isa't isa. Ganoon yung bonding ng Aura-PH dito. And the fact na hindi lang nakikita ngayon, pero nasa kanila yung tinatawag naming si Mr. Worldwide. Si Dale, nako, para bang mas lalo akong natakot sa Aura, kung iisipin eh.
Actually, if it comes down to Aura, we're gonna go into the numbers and the skill cap of these players. Feeling ko, they really missed out on Kiel, VJ, and Renziel. We just saw them in action previously. Diba? Ang lakas ng Execration. So I feel like there's some gains and some losses for the side of Aura PH, especially looking at their stats from Season 6. No, tingnan natin dito, they finished 5th. After coming from a back-to-back championship, parang kulang ang Aura PH.
Yeah, actually gusto ko lang idagdag sa sinabi natin kanina. Parang sa sobrang ganda na naging formula dito ng Aura, para bang ngayon may part na pwede na silang malito kung anong formula yung susundin nila. Kaya nga siguro may jitter sila sa mga local tournaments.
Tingnan natin itong lineup ng Aura PH. Malakas ba? Sa tingin nyo ba? Ito talaga yung key players na talagang magpapabago ng kanilang kapalaran.
Mara, teka lang, napapa-shock kami ngayon ni Leo.
Kasi hindi maglalaro si Lord Hades. Hindi maglalaro si
Benny Cutie.
Si Benny Cutie na yung arguably rookie of the season ng Aura PH.
Wow!
Ang daming players na nagsabi sa liga na Benny Cutie is the future. Benny Cutie ang magiging parang pinaka-consistent newcomer para sa Aura PH.
Yeah, pag nagtatanong ka ngayon ng mga players na sinong ilalagay mo sa gold lane pag bubuo ka ng World Championship, ang sasabihin nila Benny Cutie. And the fact na ito nga, nabanggit nga natin, Leo, na yung Aura, ang dami na nilang formula. Siguro kung gusto nila na medyo agresibo, kung gusto nila na mga medyo safe play, pwede silang magbago-bago dahil meron silang 3 core eh.
Yeah.
May JP, may Hades, may Benny Cutie pa sila. Tapos, ngayon, I think, step up ngayon sa call the shots, si Grid, na nakita naman natin na mukhang exciting sa mga posing niya.
Excited ako para kay Raflesia. I like that Chan is playing again.
Na naman.
Sobrang importante nun.
And now, i-welcome natin at kilalanin ang bagong koponan, Work Auster Force. Work Auster Force, maraming mga bagong salang dito. Actually, si Chu lang ang familiar. Advantage ba ito para sa kanila?
I think so. Kasi at least nagkaroon sila dito ng isang player na may experience na sa MPL. And I think nabanggit natin sa mga meetings natin, I think maraming tao din na ito na yung pinaka-comfortable team ni Chu. Sa Season 5 na nandun siya, para bang ito yung pinaka na-activate talaga siya. At dahil doon, never silang natalo sa qualifiers.
This is everybody's measuring stick. Ito yung parang pruweba ng tao na bakit malakas tong team na to. Why is Work Auster Force a team to be reckoned with? Why do they belong in the MPL? I need to check back on history, but never in the history of open qualifiers has there been a team na parang, men, panoorin mo to. Promise, on mo yung stream, panoorin mo.
Panoorin mo yung qualifiers nila.
Parang MPL na to.
Yeah, and ito pa, dagdag lang kay Chu, never siyang namatay nung qualifiers. Never siyang nagkaroon ng deaths as Claude. Pero nagtatalo pa nga kami nung nakausap ko siya. Sabi ko, hindi ba nagkaroon ka ng death nung nag-asim ka lang? Pero sinabi niya, hindi talaga ako nagkaroon. And doon pa lang mapapatunayan ko na naging confident si Chu ngayon with his team na para sa akin, magkakapatid ang Turing. Leo.
Yep, the main lineup here, Mara, these young men.
Mga bagong muka. Talagang making a name for themselves this season. Sino sa kanila talaga nakita nyo nung open qualifiers na na-impress kayo?
Honestly, sa akin lahat eh. Kasi may teamwork talaga sila dito. Honestly, bilang isang core na din, may elib ka sa pagiging core talaga ni Chu dito. And kung paano siya na-activate dito ni na RTZ at ni na Unravel. Which is, I think, sila nagpalit-palit pa sa ng pangalan eh.
Yeah.
Parang tinatawag nga nating Michael Jordan.
Si RTZ. Tapos ang gusto ko dito, si FY, si Unravel.
Si Unravel.
Yeah.
Actually, Leo, ang gusto ko dito sa side ng teamwork is sila yung naging main scream partners ng World Champions natin.
World Challenger.
I think nakatulong yon yung World Challenger, para lumakas sila ng ganito.
Etong Work versus Aura. This head-to-head is brought to you by Oppo A9 for experience gaming at full speed with Oppo A9 IV. Available starting March 26 in Oppo concept stores, retail partners, and e-com platforms. Etong dalawang koponan na to, Ang work, gusto nilang patunayan na hindi tsamba ang pinakita nila nung Open Qualifiers. Sa panig naman ng Aura, gusto nilang i-reclaim yung past glory. Eto, may tanong ako sa inyong dalawa. Sabi ng marami, etong work, para daw silang Onyx nung Season 4. How true is that?
Siguro masasabi yun ng mga tao na parang Onyx kasi nung pumasok din yung Onyx nung pumasok sila Season 4 ay tinitignan sila na wow, ang lakas. Baka talunin sila lahat. I think isa pa sa mga nagiging bulong sa labas is that qualifiers lang yan. Ngayon dito matitest ang work Auster Force kung tatamaan ba sila ng jitters, tatamaan ba sila ng kaba na ang kalaban nila ngayon naging 2-time champion na.
Medyo poetic, no? Kung maalala natin, Aura-PH, once Sunsparks, yun, ang karibal ng Onyx-PH. Nung pareho silang bago sa MPL Season 4, I think. Season 3 galing ang Sunsparks noon. But right now, mukhang rite of passage para sa Work Auster Force.
Pwede. Actually, magandang start para sa Work Auster Force. Kasi nga, again, Aura is a team na in line with the top 5s, top 4s. And kapag, if ever makaisa yung Aura dito, ang taas ng confidence boost nito para sa team na yan.
Makikilala natin ang coaches ng dalawang panig. Who will be the head and shoulders above the competition? Put your game face on and finally say goodbye to those awkward #It's a GG moment. Thanks to Head and Shoulders 100% dandruff-free and age-free. Now, mas mabango pa. Eto, ang coach natin sa Aura, meron tayong coach lift na may 2 MPL titles. Hindi lang yan, kasama niya si Coach Dale. Sa panig naman ng work, meron tayong Coach Arcadia. Pinatunayan nila na, well, they're showing that they belong. Do you think it's an advantage ngayon sa Aura na meron silang 2 coaches na experience dito?
I think so. And Mara, si Coach Arcadia ay mayroon ng 2 championships na nagawa. Kilalang-kilala niya na si Rafflesia, kilalang-kilala niya na yung sina JP, si Kiluwash, and I think with the help ng isang outside factor na nandun din si Coach Dale, which is also your SEA Games coach alongside with Panda, and also an M2 representative, doon pa lang sa numbers na yon, I think on paper, matatakot ka talaga, Leo.
Yeah, no, Arcadia is a very smart man. But on the other side, right, facing him off from the other corner, si Lift. Ito, si Lift. He's making his MPL debut in Season 7 as a coach. But a few people should know as well, galing siya sa kampo ng Archangel, our Season 3 champions. He spent a good amount of time there as a player, training as a coach.
Yeah, and to add, nung nakausap natin si Liv, ang sabi niya dito, napaka-importante nitong pagpasok ko dahil matagal na siya sa esports. Matagal niya nang pinapangarap to, kaya kitang-kita mo sa kanya yung hunger para makuha itong title.
Super mature. I spent the off-season talking to a lot of these coaches, and Arcadia, matagal na siya. Matagal na siya sa esports. He has 2 championships, as we mentioned. Pero si Liv, first time niya magiging coach sa MPL.
Wow.
And the things that are coming out of his mouth and kung paano niya i-address yung mga problema ng team or kung paano niya i-build up yung team, it's like he really belongs here.
It's gonna be interesting how the coaches will lead their team. At meron din tayong mga manlalaro na talagang nasa spotlight. And these featured players will do all they can para hindi ma-GG. Bring your clay game with Master, sikreto ng mga gwapo. Eto, sa 2 panig ng kupunan, meron tayong Chu and Lord Hades. Si True 3rd straight appearance sa MPL. Si Lord Hades naman, bago lang sa Aura. Head-to-head, anong masasabi niyo sa kanilang 2?
I can therefore say na itong 2 players na to ay halos sabay din pumasok sa scene. I think Hades is also close with the NXB squad na sinabi nga sa akin ni H2O na kasabayan niya si Hades dito. And nandito rin si Chu. Para sa akin dito, pareha silang play safe. Ngayon, para sa akin, kailangan lang ma-activate ng 2 yung killer instinct na tinatawag. I think yun ang pressure ngayon sa jungle role. But then again, basing sa mga local tournaments na nakita natin and basing sa performance, mas may killer instinct para sa akin this time si Chu.
Ayan, Leo, meron tayong lane prediction.
This is how it is. Like, Benny Curie's not playing, so medyo ibahin natin yan ng konti. But at least for the side of Work Auster Force, this is what you can expect. Arteezy in mid, Chu in the jungle, Unravel bilang tank, Trim Arteezy and Kusei taking the side lanes. Marami nagsabi na ang Work Auster Force parang one-trick pony. Parang basic, di ba? Tapos ang liit pa ng hero pool. But I think given a team like RPH, they're gonna have to be forced to step up. Baka may bago silang ilabas. That's what we're looking for.
Eto na! Work Auster Force kontra Aura PH. They're armed! They are ready. Simulan natin ang bakbakan at samahan na natin ang ating anchor and analyst.
Aura PH, isang team na gustong kunin yung kanilang former glory sa past seasons. Work Auster Force, isang team na gusto naman patunayan na sila ay nabibilang dito sa MPL-PH Season 7. We are going to be your casters. I am Butters, your anchor. Kasama ko ngayon si Wolf, ang inyong analyst. Wolf, kamusta?
I am so excited about this. Kanina pa ako nanggigigil mag-cast and I'm finally here. We're excited to bring you the action for this wonderful series kasi isang veteranong team na may gustong patunayan samantala kalaban nila isang team naman na ang gusto nila sabihin ay dito kami, belong kami dito.
Belong na belong kami dito. Pero syempre, bago tayo manggigil ng todo, the MPL-PH Season 7 is presented by Smart, or official tournament telco partner, free to game great with Smart free games for all. Now, Wolf, looking at it, ang daming binigay dito ni Mara, ni Manjin at ni Leo. Ang daming stats, ang daming factors. What do you think about that?
Una sa lahat ay sinabi ni Manjin na bilang isang core player ay naiintindihan daw niya si Chu. Yun ang siguro question mark doon. But apart from that, I totally agree with what they say. For example, Aura PH, they were talking about the importance of Benny Cutie. I myself, nagulat din ako na baka hindi maglaro si Benny Cutie or at least yun yung unang pinakita. I'm not entirely sure because I think Aura PH, lalong-lalo na nung off-season, bago MPL Season 7, ay napaka-successful with Benny Cutie in. So yun medyo na nagpinagtataka ko. Samantala, Work Auster Force naman, na-mention nila about Hero Pool. I'm sure na pinaghandaan nila yan sa Work Auster Force. But key to victory ng Work Auster Force brings something different para sa MPL Season 7.
Alam mo, going back to Work Auster Force dito gusto ko lang malaman yung side mo kasi nakita naman natin dun sa graphic na pinakita kanina na sobrang smooth sailing talaga na naging qualifier nila. Hindi sila masyado naglabas ng hero. Do you think that is an advantage for them?
Okay, so that is definitely an advantage for them. Pag inisip natin na pag sa liga, every single game matters. So that also means na bawat laro na lalaroin mo sa MPL Season 7 for you to get points ay yung best sana na heroes ninyo, best strategies. And for Work Auster Force, ang kagandahan is, pag binigay mo sa kanilang hero na gustong-gusto nila, sobrang eksperto naman nila nun. Hindi lang sa macro, pati rin sa micro.
Okay, so MPL-PH Season 7 is presented by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of the MPL. Free to game great with Smart free games for all. Ang tindi ng bigayan dito, Wolf, kasi talagang MPL Season 7, think about it. Season 1, nandito na tayo pareho. Nasabi na din, it's been a long time, ladies and gentlemen. Si Manji nasabi niya din to kanina. Looking at how we progressed, looking at how we evolved, in-expect mo ba yung ganito katindi?
No, dumating tayo sa point, man, na pinifeature na natin mismo yung coaches. Last season, ang taas ng emphasis natin sa mga coaches at coaching staff. Ngayon, even yung secondary, mga analysts, may mga casters at may mga nagpo-post din sa social media na eto na yata yung season na i-feature natin yung dual, alam mo yun, may hindi lang isang coach, meron pang mga analysts. Kasi nga, lumalaki na ang bawat every single season. Like, for example, Aura PH, when they started, nag-back-to-back sila si RKJ, tapos tinalo sila ng isang team na sobrang lupit, tapos Bren na yung biglang champion. Everybody wants to be better than the previous champions, diba? Parang palakas lang ng palakas. Ano yung dinadagdag? Bren Esports, dinagdagan nila ng malupit na facilities. Kumuha sila ng coach na parang pinauwi nila yung import natin na si Daki para kunin sa kanilang side at makabuo ng isang team. Ngayon yung teams naman like Work Auster Force, the organization, pinag-combine nila yung mga malulupit sa amateur leagues. Tapos, tinry nilang pumunta sa qualifiers. Yun pala, sobrang tindi na pala nila because of a recipe na they thought that can work and actually worked. So, to answer your question, hindi ko in-expect na ganito kalaki. Ang daming naisip ng mga teams para lang makapasok sa MPL.
Alam mo, patagal yung mga seasons natin dito. Ine-expect ko na nalalaki siya pero hindi ganito kabilis. And ginulat tayo na MPL Season 7 ngayon kasi with the inclusion pa na nasa atin ang World Championship ng M2, lahat gusto mag-step up, lahat gusto itaas yung tropeo na yan. Pero tatandaan nyo, bago nila magawa yan, kailangan muna ipakita nila yung kanilang galing dito sa sarili-sarili nilang MPL.
Yeah. You know what's funny, Butters?
Ano?
Yung dami ko nami-meet sa amin, sa mga barangay, na para sabi na gusto ko maging Bren Esports. And actually, pagka-uwi natin mula sa Singapore, casting for the M2 World Championship, yung balita umingay about sa champion yung Pinoy sa Mobile Legends, at ang dami kong mga matatanda rin na nakakausap na parang ito na pa yung future. At yung mga bata naman gusto nilang maging champion, gusto nilang maging Bren Esports. Now, it also translated sa mga players naman. I was able to talk to some of the players at sabi nila gusto din nilang mag-champion for the Philippines. And they can say na kaya naman kayang makipagsabayan So I think that Bren Esports being the championship team sa M2 World Championship, tapos i-translate natin sa mga players dito sa MPL-PH Season 7, yun yata yung goal talaga, maging champion din.
Motivation, inspiration, yun yung ginawa ng Bren Esports. But remember guys, this is the next chapter. Ito yung sunod na kabanata doon sa nangyaring World Championship win natin. And right now, things are going to get heated up. Syempre, nandito na yung work na talagang in-acknowledge ng Bren Esports. Alam mo, pinagtahi ko lang yun
Sakto Sakto.
Itong work na to, talagang in-acknowledge sila ng Bren Esports. Sinabi nila all throughout the interviews na tinitignan nila yung work as a threat in terms of being in the MPL Season 7 or being the best, the top dogs of the MPL Season 7 PH. Ngayon naman, dun tayo sa previous top dogs naman. Etong Aura PH. Aura PH, they found themselves sa isang slump nung playoffs. Ang ganda din naman ng performance nila nung regular season nung MPL S6. Pero, nung pinakadulo na, nakatapat nila yung Onyx sa isang unfamiliar territory, which is the quarterfinals.
The first round of the playoffs.
The first round of the playoffs. Doon sila nagkita and na 3-0 sila ng Onyx. So, for Aura PH, ano nga ba yung gusto nilang gawin dito papasok ng MPL Season 7?
Una sa lahat is rebuild. Now, bago yung kanilang ginawa. Very questionable call for sure. Kasi imagine this, binigyan ka ni KLVJ at ni Renjo ng 2 championships. Now, isang slump and you let them go. For loyalist perspective, nakakapagtaka yun. But then again, we will not question the decision of Aura PH. Baka naman kasi may nangyayari inside, that's why they let go of KLVJ. But, to answer your question, ang gusto nilang gawin ay kumuha ng mag-rebuild. I think na siguro nga dahil monotonous yung pag-back-to-back championship nila, parang parehas lang din yung nangyari, Onyx din yung kanilang nakatapat, kaya siguro sila nanibago noong MPL Season 6. So what they did is to bring us something new, which came from Lord Hades and now Benny Cutie, rising star dito sa Aura PH, and it might be for the better.
It might be for the better, but ladies and gentlemen, we will be heading into a very short break. Huwag kayong aalis, magbabalik ang MPL-PH Season 7.
Welcome to the Giga Life. Your passions, your stories, your life. Simplified with just one app. This is the future. The Giga Life in just one path. Experience more Giga moments when you make the smart choice. With the Philippines' fastest mobile data network. How do I know it's T1? Simple, smart, ako.
Moment na sana, pero hassle ang kati. Yung kati na yan, dahil sa dandruff yan. You need Head and Shoulders. Unlike beauty shampoos, tanggal ang dandruff that causes kati. No more hassle sa moment. Goodbye na sa kati, dahil 100% dandruff.
When you look inside a JanSport backpack, you see a story that started in 1967. Since then, 15 million bottles worth of recycled polyester in our most popular backpacks. When you look inside a JanSport pack, you see our commitment to this brilliant blue planet we call home. just getting started.
App Store dahil ito na ang usong pangbayad bill.
Ang PayMaya ay isang mobile payment app using only your cell phone, and you can pay practically anything kahit online transactions pa yan.
With PayMaya, hindi mo na kailangan magdala ng cash for your day-to-day expenses.
May balikbayad ka pa.
Each time you use PayMaya, may balik sa'yo na cashback at rewards, kaya sulit ang oras mo dahil hindi mo na kailangan pumila, and you can just pay using your app anytime, anywhere.
Kaya guys, huwag kakalimutan, pag may babayaran ka,
Don't pay cash, pay Maya.
Hey guys, I'm here with Kate and Bea.
Bad timing ang kate. Baka dandruff yan? Use Head and Shoulders every day. Unlike beauty shampoos, tanggal ang dandruff that causes kate. Para di babalik-balik, katigan for good na. Dahil 100% dandruff-free ka.
Hi guys, I'm here with Kate.
Para araw-araw, close na close. Max pinabango pa.
What do you do when what you desire is beyond reach?
You use power that breaks barriers. The Giga Life.
Now in 5G.
Do you believe this is possible?
I do.
How do you know?
Simple, smart, Acro.
Express your online business. Express your online business.
Are you keeping it real? I'm calling shotgun, wanna see my baby run. Oh, what's the word on the sea? Kicking up the dust, you know what I mean. We got a good thing going. We got a good thing.
Welcome to the Giga Life. Your passions, your stories, your life. Simplified with just one app. This is the future. The Giga Life in just one path. Experience more Giga moments when you make the smart choice. With the Philippines' fastest mobile data network. How do I know it's T1? Simple, smart, Ako.
Moment na sana, pero hassle ang kate. Yung kate na yan, dahil sa dandruff yan. You need Head and Shoulders. Unlike beauty shampoos, tanggal ang dandruff that causes kate. No more hassle sa moment. Goodbye na sa kate, dahil 100% dandruff.
When you look inside a JanSport backpack, you see a story that started in 1967. Since then, our mission has expanded to helping protect our environment for future generations to enjoy. It's a work in progress, but just this season we've used the equivalent of 13 million bottles worth of recycled polyester in our most popular backpacks. When you look inside a JanSport pack, you see our commitment to this brilliant blue planet we call home. And we're just getting started.
Welcome back sa Tagalog Casting Desk, ladies and gentlemen. Kami pa rin ang iyong mga kasama. Ako si Butters, ang iyong anchor, and si Wolf, ang magiging analyst ninyo for this series. And syempre, bago tayo mag-usap ulit, Wolf, about this amazing game, or amazing series rather, tatandaan natin na MPL-PH Season 7 is presented by Smart, our official tournament telco partner. Free to game great with Smart free games for all. Wolf, coming back from that break, tatandaan natin na malapit na ang draft. And tatandaan natin din na this is still Aura PH versus Work Auster. But tatandaan natin, kailangan natin malaman kung sino ang gagawa ng smart choice. Catch it next, brought to you by Smart, free to game great with Smart free games for all. Drafting phase na, guys. And inaantay na lang natin dito yung screen natin. But before that, let's talk about the teams more. Aura PH, Arcadia, looking at the coaching staff nitong team na to, meron tayong Arcadia na proven and tested na kapag kakailangan niya maging crazy with his drafts, ay gagawin niya. Ngayon naman si Dale, isa sa mga pinaka-technical by the textbook na coach, nagsama sa isang team. Do you think it's a balance?
It is definitely a balance.
Do you think na may away na mangyayari dito?
Siguro, eventually magkaroon sila ng away. But I love the fact that maganda yun, magandang away yung mangyayari. Kasi imagine this, meron kang isang creative na utak, courtesy of Coach Arcadia, and then you have Dale, some very fundamental. Hindi lang yan, imagine mo yung training ng Aura PH. Merong nagko-control sa kanila, tapos merong nag-unleash sa kanila. It's just a good mixture. And nung una kong nalaman na ang Aura PH ay kinuha si Coach Dale, sobrang na-amaze ako. It all came together. Napakaganda. I love the first ban of Aura PH. Yung ban ng Pakito, wag mo nang bigyan ng comfort picks agad ang Work Auster Force. I think ang emphasis ng Aura PH ngayon ay either iban or kunin yung Pakito, Alice, and Esmeralda laban sa Work Auster Force.
And as we all know, Work Auster Force, they've played, naglaro sila, ladies and gentlemen, doon sa, sabihin natin qualifiers, na selected lang yung heroes na nilabas nila. And this might be the time na kailangan talaga nila maglabas ng mga matitinding pick dito sa regular season. Aura PH, banning out the Alice, and as you've said, tama ang iyong prediction.
Yeah, this is a comfort pick ng Work Auster Force. For sure ay hindi dapat yan ibigay ng Aura PH. And mind you, hindi lang naman ito ang unang beses na nagkaroon ng paglalaban ng Aura PH at Work Auster Force. In fact, yung Work Auster Force, minsan nanalo sila sa Aura, minsan naman sila ay natatalo. So this is not new for both teams. Ngayon, ang Aura PH, knowing that Work Auster Force nag-ooperate sila with this very farm-heavy side lane composition, courtesy of their wonderful player Kose, hindi mo na lang din siya bibigyan ng comfort pick. Even when Alice is not banned first, kailangan mong iban yan laban sa Work Auster Force.
Work Auster Force here, banning out Natalia, ayaw nilang mabigyan ng problema dito si Chu. And as we all know, Work Auster Force, they really like to pick Claude din.
Yeah. That's also true. Selena, finalo up dito ng Aura PH as Work Auster Force, paborito din nila ang gamitin itong Selena na to. I think RTZ, yung quote-unquote support player, the mid laner for Work Auster Force, really loves this. At alam na gustong-gusto yan nilang gamitin. Yan, daming open. This means that Matilda might be open up para sa Aura PH, pero ibaba niya agad ng Work Auster Force. Yan ang tamang ginawa ng Work Auster Force. You don't wanna give the Matilda sa Aura PH.
First pick dito ang Aura PH, that means pwede silang kumuha dito ng isang hero na tingin nila ay talagang bagay na bagay sa kanila. A comfort hero if you will. And they can actually go for another meta hero dito. Sino pa ba ang mga open wolf?
I think pwede sila mag-consider something along the lines of nasa ano yun Brody Benedetta. But according to what we can hear, it might be Sylvana.
It is going to be a Sylvana. And sabihin na lang natin, isa sa mga pinaka-consistent na tanks.
Yeah.
Noong nakaraang M2 World Championship, Wolf.
Butters, may na-mention tayo kanina and sa panel din about Benecutin not playing. At nakikita ko ngayon, mukhang siya ang sinalang. So again, Benecutin is one of the most important players for Aura PH. Instead of Lord Hades, JP, ang makikita natin yan sa Aura.
ang taas ng priority dito ng Aura PH para sa isang Sylvana to the point na i-give up pa nila itong Cho at ang Esmeralda. Tatandaan natin, Aura PH, dalawang magaling na Cho player ang meron sila dito. Meron silang Benny QT, meron silang Kilowash. Depende na lang kung sino yung gagamit sa kanila yan.
I think you wanna go Claude this time para sa Aura PH, but Bane. Oh, Bane and Eve. Ang mga bagong mga additions. Of course, Eve bago dito sa ating meta because she is literally the newest hero. Hindi pala, may Bellatrix na pala.
May Bellatrix na,
Second
kakalabas lang.
newest. Kakalabas lang kanina. Second newest, you have Eve na pwede na rin gamitin ngayon sa lating liga. Ang ganda ng wave clear, ganda ng poke. Ngayon yung Bane naman, recently ay na-buff. If you don't know, yung kanyang second skill and kanyang first skill in combination, pwede sila mag-physical and magical build. At napakataas ng poke potential at napakalakas ng AoE damage. Na ang ganda rin ng kanyang ultimate, of course, isa to sa mga counters, sa mga hero na makukulit. Alam mo yung gustong pumasok? Like Esmeralda and Cho, for example, maharit. Kasi bago pa sila makarating, ay mapipigilan sila. Look at this! A Diggy picked up by Work Auster Force.
Pinipigilan na ng Work Auster Force dito yung potential ng Aura PH sa pag-lockdown ng mga heroes, sa mga heroes nila. Now, Aura PH, looking at it, ang dami nilang pang-isolate dito, ang dami nilang pang-zone out wolf.
Yeah.
Nandyan yung Shark Attack, andyan yung Imperial Justice, andyan din si Eve na walking zoning hero to eh.
So literally, napakahirap niyang kumilos. But yung Diggy, obviously gustong ang Work Auster Force mo, ang gusto nilang kumuha ng isang hero na sa juggling position ay ayaw magulo. In fairness with Aura PH, yung Eve and Sylvana, sobrang lakas pumatay nitong combo na to. Imagine this, yung ultimate ng Sylvana, tapos meron kang Eve, so much magic damage out there. Magandang combo kasi yan eh. So, in the mid-game, kailangan mag-ingat ng Work Auster Force. That's why they were, ang kanilang pinili ay isang Diggy para at least makatulong sa pag-jungle nila. So, I'm thinking of something along the lines ng Claude, Hayabusa sa side ng Work Auster Force. Pati rin naman sa Aura PH, pwede rin nilang gamitin yung Claude laban si Esmeralda.
Alam mo, Wolf, ako personally nasasaktan ako ngayon kasi yung Benedetta, fourth ban.
Hindi na ganun, no?
Hindi na siya pinapriority. Alam mo naman, pagka tayo naglalaro, kung pwede
Benedetters.
Pipiliin natin yan. Pero sabi dito ng Aura PH, may Bane kami na iniisip eh. Benedetta.
Pwede na. But then, no, kidding aside, Benedetta, dahil sa mga nerfs niya, most importantly pala, ay yung cooldown ng kanyang ultimate, pati na rin yung damage reductions kasi yung pag kinomboy mo yung lahat ng nerfs na yun, ang tagal nang mag-clear ng Benedetta compared before. Well, actually, iniisip ko nga dito, parang ito dapat talaga, ganito lang dapat talaga kalakas yung Benedetta. Yung nakaraan ay sobrang malakas, sobrang OP.
Sobra.
But then again, there is gonna be the ban sa Benedetta. At ang Work Auster Force, sila naman nagban ng Lapu-Lapu. So, they're also looking for a good side laner na parang medyo greedy on the greedy side para hindi siya nakokontest ng Lapu-Lapu. I'm thinking something along the lines of 1-1.
Pwede. It is a possibility.
Or a Claude side lane.
Pwede na nila iban yung Claude dito if ever for the side of Aura PH. And they will ban out the Brody. Ayaw nila yung magic damage and strong poke potential coming out from that hero. And Work Auster Force, they go for their fourth pick. It's going to be a Kagura. And kung mapapasin mo dito, Wolf, yung utility na ginagawa ng Work Auster Force para sa team nila, ang taas ng range capability.
This is a reason pala kung bakit Lunox ang binan ng Work Auster Force and the other heroes, they will want to go for the Kagura. Ngayon, I'm pretty sure that this will reveal na parang fourth, it's a mid lane Kagura or support Kagura. Tapos yung ating Chu ay nasa side lanes na. So, it's gonna be Cho, Esmeralda, or combination of side lanes ng Work Auster Force. Or pwede rin naman, this is crazy, pero pwede sila mag-Kagura side pa rin. Although, too much na yon na mage on the side lanes. They do have the Diggy anyway, so okay naman. Then, ni-reveal na rin nila na yung Cho nila ay magiging side lanes talaga. So, Aura PH, it's gonna be interesting. Thams and YSS.
Okay. Itong mga heroes na to, parang Aura PH special to. Thams on Kilowash. Si JP will play the YSS. Work Auster Force here going for a Bruno. And alam mo, Wolf, ang iniisip ko nga sa Work Auster Force dito, this is going to be a tank Cho. Tapos side lane nga itong Kagura. Kasi meron tayong specific change na nangyari sa Clock of Destiny na kapag ka nakuha mo siya ng mas maaga, you can expect a better mid-game para sa'yo.
Yeah, this is a very good draft coming out from Work Auster Force. Pero yung PH, comfort naman para sa kanila. Yung kailangang ingatan ng Work Auster Force dito ay hindi mag-overtake ang Bane. Kailangan nilang pigilan yung Bane, which is actually hindi ganun kahirap. Medyo madaling pigilan ng Bane. Pero pag nag-pop off ang Bane, napakalakas, ang hirap pigilan because of the damage output niya. Ngayon, ang nagustuhan ko decision mula sa Work Auster Force, they pick up Bruno, which is arguably the hero na slightly ay mas mabilis sa YSS. YSS kasi nakikita ko ngayon na pinakamabilis mag-jungle dahil dun sa 40% na yung makuha mong bonus sa jungle or sobrang bilis mo na. Simply put, sobrang bilis. Na ngayon, Bruno lang yung kayang in a way, mas mabilis mag-jungle. Kasi mabilis talaga mag-jungle ng Bruno. So, ang ganda ng decision ng Work. Pabilisan na lang mag-farm to for both Work and Aura.
Let's see if that will be the case as this is game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. And as you can see, Green dito, nahuli ni RTZ. And I think that Kagura pick really works well against the Eve. Tatandaan natin, it's the same as Farsa. Yung Farsa, hinahabol lang ng payong ng isang Kagura.
Yeah. I can see na yung pwestuhan dito ng mga supports ng Work Auster Force, which is the combination of the DG and the Kagura, medyo abante sila. Pero, ang gusto nilang gawin ay tignan kung nasan yung mga members ng Aura PH. Ano yan eh, ang kailangan nilang gawin ay hintayin nila na kailangan mag-farm muna.
And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, nagkakaroon ng bit of TP back dito ang isang Digi.
Yeah. Yung Aura PH, mixture of tempos ang kanilang ginagawa. Bane, mas mabagal compared to Work, obviously, kasi may Cho and Esmeralda side lanes on Work. Samantala yung Aura, it's Thumbs and Bane. Innately farmers. Pero yung YSS nila, medyo mabilis yung tempo. Work naman, kabaliktaran, all-in speed para sa Work. They wanna go for the tempo control and this is what they're doing right now.
And look at Raflesia, you're getting caught out, ladies and gentlemen. Kosei dito, by a bit more than he can chew. And nahuli nga dito si YSS, JP dito. Siya ang unang tutumba. Walang retribution dito yung side ng Aura PH at pupunta kay Chu. Yung turtle buff unravel dito, trying to get away dun sa mga pating, pero sabi ni RTC dito, pipigilan kita ng onte, and that is going to be a 1-for-1 trade for both teams.
At tinabi natin yung tempo control ng Work Auster Force, which is much better than Aura dahil meron silang playmakers agad. Cho, pagkakawa ng level 4, very confident. Esmeralda is also level 4, which in combination to their Bruno, it just means na sobrang bilis nila mag-take ng turtle. Pagkadating ng second minute, which is the mark where the turtle respawns, Work Auster Force, which is tailored more on the early stages of the game.
Papasin mo dito, Aura PH, they're really pushing. Kailangan bantayan din nila yung taas nila dito as Work. Talagang iniikutan nila dito si Kilowash.
Yeah. We seeing the fact na yung YSS naman ay maganda pang push because of the passive and innate damage output. Tingnan natin kung mabilis sila. Ang ganda ng depensa ng Eve. Look at that. Greed using the terrain. Ginamit niya para hindi siya maka-contest or mahanap ng Kagura. But this is trouble for Aura.
But there is a fight. Kilowash dito. Pumasok na lang siya. And look at the tankiness ng isang Thamos. And he will just back off. Parang walang nangyari habang doon sa may baba na pick off dito si Benny Cutie.
Do take note, Butters, that Aura PH, ang ganda ng kanilang adjustment. Ito yung gustong-gusto ko sa Aura eh. Kapag nakikita nilang may konting lugi doon sa kanilang draft, what they do is to find other ways to be farmed. Like yung ginawa ni JP, nag-push na lang siya sa baba, kumuha ng outer turret energy shields for more gold. At hindi lang yan. Nung nagtuturtle yung Work, imbis na kumontes pa ang Aura PH, si JP, kinuhaan na lang niya ng jungle si Chu. So what he did is to kind of invade yung work. Kasi nga naman, hindi naman nila kayang lumaban around the turtle, so kuha na lang ng ibang sources around the map.
Ay, kung papasin mo dito, meron turtle take na nangyayari dito para sa side ng Aura. Ginamit agad ni Grid dito yung ultimate niya. Is that the best call? It will be the best call for them as Aura secures a turtle para sa side nila. Habang nangyayari yung lahat, nakikita mo yung pwestuhan ni Trey Martizzi dito. Kanina ba siya tumatambay sa mga brush?
Yeah.
Sobra yung use dito ng work Auster Force sa mga brush na yan to get yung pick-offs.
Yeah, that's definitely what they needed. If you're looking at the goal, bakit yung turtle napunta sa side ng work ng Aura, pero mas mayaman pa rin yung work? This is again the advantage na meron ng work during the early stages of the match na the game, na inabuse nila yung kanilang jungling speed and yung kanilang zone out potential. Yung Aura ngayon, kailangan ng i-bodyguard ni Rafflesia at ni Greed yung kanilang YSS or even just defend some parts of the map like in this mid lane, habang yung work naman medyo malaya yung support duo nila. Pwedeng tumulong sa side lanes or sa jungle or be aggressive just like this so that work they can have more farm using itong kanilang Bruno kay Ju.
Pero alam mo, nababansin ko dito na yung Eve Wolf, nag-stick lang siya sa halos isang lane.
Yeah.
Ginagamit niya lang yung spells niya, yung skills niya, at hindi na nakapag-push dito yung work. Pero for this time around, hindi na niya mapipigilan yung push. Pero Unravel dito, ang magiging ally. Worth it ba yun?
Definitely worth it dahil nakuha sila ng kill dun sa Thumbs naman na gustong kumonekta sa kanila. Aura PH, what they wanted to do was use the Thumbs papunta sa gitna habang sila nagde-defend sa bot, tapos pupunta rin sana sila sa gitna so that they can catch anyone there. Pero ang ganda ng pwestuhan doon ni RTZ, alam niya na may pupunta doon, alam niya may magre-respo doon, nagtago siya doon sa bush na may mid lane at kumuha ng kill.
Habang nangyayari yun lahat, may pick-off na naman silang nakuha dito sa may taas na side naman. Nakukuha din nila yung turret. At tatandaan natin, Eve, yes, is a good hero kapag dating sa mga counter push. Pero ang problema, hindi siya kasing mobile at hindi kasing lawak ng range na isang Farsa yung meron siya.
Yeah, you can see yung pwestuhan. Kasi just being aggressive kasi gusto lang secure naman yung third turtle of the game. We might see a fourth turtle, Butters, kung sobrang bilis mag-take ito. Kasi nga naman, the turtles respawn every 2 minutes. So, pag mabilis na mabilis ang kanilang pag-take, may chance sa makakuha.
3 Martizzi catching out Greed. Lalaban pa ba sila dito? And that is going to be 2 kills, ladies and gentlemen. Kosei, pumasok. Tingnan natin kung makakalabas siya. Benny Cutie trying his best to deal damage. Pero Wolf, hindi talaga kinakaya dito yung protection na nabibigay ng isang Digi.
Yeah, and so much damage output coming out from the Bruno. Nakita mo naman, saglit lang na stun. At nakuha agad nila yung burst and mukhang hindi pa sila tapos mag-i-invade sila ngayon, Butters. Ayan ang magandang gawin laban sa isang Yisun Shin. What you need to do is to not let the opposing team get that buff. Napakagandang flicker. Using the animation kasi nung flicker, parang nasa taas ka pala nung third shun pa mo na meron kang stun, mag-flicker ka na para pag flicker mo, babang-baba agad, instant stun.
Rafflesia, kamunti ka na doon. Pero alam mo, Wolf, ang napapansin ko dito is yung pagmando ng work ng mapa eh. Kumbaga, napapasayaw nila yung Aura PH sa isang kanta na sila yung gumawa.
Exactly. Napapa-TikTok sila ng gano'n.
Napapa-TikTok sila dun sa gusto ng work.
Yeah. This is the problem kapag ang passive ng approach mo when it comes to your hero picks. Surely, ang Aura PH, pwede sila na mag-sit back and relax kasi meron naman silang Bane, meron silang Thumbs, meron silang YSS. However, yung work, dahil sila yung may mga heroes na kayang mag-control, katulad ng sinabi natin kanina, tempo controller, ang mga picks ng work Auster Force, gamit ang Digi, gamit ang Kagura, pati na rin ang Cho Esmeralda sa sides.
Hoy! Tingnan mo yung damage output nila dito. RTC going in! Look at that! Yan yung overturn dito. Tutumba siya pero kaya ba i-clean up to ng work? Kosei, pinupuntahin si Rafflesia. And the Fallen Star Moon, nandun na Rafflesia dito. Sinishake and bake pero hindi siya makakatakas. That was 2 kills going to the side of Aura PH.
Wow. And work Auster Force, hindi nila nirespeto ang damage output ng isang Bane. You can see that nag-dive sila even under the turret. Imagine this. This is Eve, Bane, may Thumbs. Kapag nakapwesto na yung mga yan, kahit gaano kakayaman, malambot ka pa rin.
Grabe din yung pinakita ni ni RTZ. Kung papansinin mo kung paano siya pumasok, hinanap niya yung perfect opportunity. Yung Aura PH, masasabi kong nag-drop sila ng guard doon. Talagang, alam mo yon, naging confident sila, nagdikit-dikit sila, at hindi nagdalawang isip si RTZ na gamitin sa kanila yung burst niya.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough at that point. Yung Aura, magaling ang Aura PH sa pagpapadala ng game into the late game. Ang dami na nilang mga laro na lugi sila sa simula, pero dahil dun sa kit na meron sila, ginagamit lang nila para umabot sa latter portions of the game. They might have a better draft sa late game compared sa work dahil malalambot yung heroes ng work, and eventually yung Bruno hindi na siya ganun kalakas pag meron ng mga dominance eyes or may skiras na yung kalaban, but it seems like work, they're making it work, basically. Inaabis nila yung strength nila at this point at kumuha ng Lord sa ngayon. They're making it work.
What's gonna work? Teamwork, yun yung pinapakita ng work dito. Kung papansin niyo yung bomba, yung payong, ang daming binabato. 3 earthly dito. Makakapag-flicker out pa. Look at that. Habang ang daming binigay ng Aura doon na oras, natanggalan sila ng turret sa may mid lane pa. Sila pa ang nawalan.
Oh, man. Alam ng work na malakas yung kanilang minions because of the Lord of the Burst!
Oh! My goodness, ladies and gentlemen, very cutie doon. Shredding 2 people sa side ng work. Pero will it be enough to stop the push na ginagawa ng Lord?
Oh my. Might be enough. Wala ring pang hit na ng Torre ang work ngayon since Chu is already down. And Trey Martizi, hindi rin siya in position just to push. And look at this. Yung Aura PH, eto na yung kakatakutan mo. Merong Eve, merong Bane. Sobrang taas ng wave clear potential. At ang taas na rin ng damage output doon sa mga heroes. And you also have Thams. Do take note, Thams, ang taas ng damage output sa mga heroes.
Pero napapansin mo yung mapa ngayon, medyo yung Aura PH nag-focus dito sa may purple buff nila. And considering pa na pwede nilang kunin yung pick-off dito kay Trey Martizi, talagang tulong-tulong yung Aura PH dito. Kahit yung purple buff nila, 3 tao yung pinapadala nila.
Work. Kanina pa nila kinokontrol ang tempo. Ngayon, ang question is, can they finish it up? Again, maganda yung kanilang sieging potential. Meron silang Digi, they have the Bruno, at taas na kanilang damage output sa Torre. However, enough ba yan para sa Eve and sa Bane? Napakataas na base defense coming out from Aura PH dahil sa kanilang wave clear and in a damage output. Pag nagkamali ang work, kahit konti lang, it's gonna be difficult for them to finish this game.
Yun yung nagiging problema dito eh. Kumbaga, sabihin na lang natin, accounted for yung Imperial Justice kasi may mga purify dito sa side ng work, Auster.
Mga pinakamagaling pwesto. And I think after 3 seasons, na-prove niya na isa siya sa mga pinakamalulupit na support, quote-unquote support players or mid laners sa ating laban. At hindi siya basta-basta magpapahuli for sure.
Wave the Dragon yung sumisipa. That was my mistake, ladies and gentlemen. But right now, looking at it, talagang nagpipilit sila ditong i-push yung mga minions papunta sa side ng Aura. Kung papansinin mo yung timer ngayon, 60 seconds till the Lord comes up. That is going to be the Enhanced Lord, the Luminous Lord na nagcha-charge. Holy Crystal para dito kay Kosei. Do you think si Kosei dito online na?
Definitely. Kayang-kaya na nila makakuha ng malulupit na one combo finish, kumbaga, when it comes to their damage output. Yung work Auster Force, meron silang lamang ngayon na 6,000 gold, and they can even use this. Butters, pwede nila ito gamitin para maging aggressive at mag-dictate ng tempo around the Lord timing. Pag nakuha ng work Auster Force, ang Luminous Lord, ang level 2 Lord, yung may talon, ika nga, napakahirap mag-defend niya for Aura. But, meron naman silang heroes to defend. So, it's, again, nasa work kung paano sila mananalo o matatalo sa game na to. Yung Aura PH, ang kailangan lang nilang gawin, maghintay. Wait for the right moment to strike. Mag-defend lang na mag-defend kasi maganda naman talaga yung depensa ng kanilang mga heroes. And maybe, just maybe, paabutin nila sa super duper late game kung saan may mas advantage na sila over work.
Ako nga, Wolf, ang gusto ko gawin dito ng Aura PH, biglain nila ulit.
Pwede
Katulad
rin.
ko ginawa nila kanina. Binigla ni Benny Cutie, gumawa siya ng magandang play. Tapos sumabog dito si Chu, sumabog si RTZ. Parang wala na silang nagawa. Pero eto na, Aura PH, Hindi ba nila makokontest to? Chu, nahuli ni
no.
Raflesia, pero Raflesia, siya pa ang mapapatakbo. Flame shot, hindi tatama, pero hindi magmamatter yun. As Raflesia will still go down.
A very bad decision from Raflesia. Tapos na yung Lord eh. They didn't have vision. Wala silang way para makontest. Not in a million years. Hindi niya talaga kaya. Kaya hindi rin niya respect yung fact na may digi. Tandaan, may tali yan. Which means that the reverse time will really stop the Sylvana ngayon. Man down ng Aura PH. It's gonna be difficult to defend. It might be even impossible to defend all of their turrets at this point.
Genius 1 para dito kay RTZ. Ito na ba yung kailangan niya para mag-burst down ng mga tao? Si Creed dito ginamit na yung kanyang ultimate. And that is going to be the Lord marching on. Papunta dun sa may base. The burst down! Kilowash dito. Tutumba. Lord is down as well. Dun sa may taas may nagpo-push. Imperial Justice dito. Susubukan hulihin si Kosei pero Purify is up. 3 turrets down. The inner turrets are down. Aura PH. Paano sila magka-comeback dito?
All what they can do is defend if I were to answer a question. Pero napakahirap niyan.
That is true.
Butters, alam mo yung work Auster Force, ang taas masyado nung kanilang naipong pera na pwede pa sila maghintay ng pangatlong Lord para tapusin laban. Pero mukhang hindi na yun yung gagawin nila. What they need to do now ay hintayin na ang Aura PH ay lumabas ng kanilang base. Baka nga ang gawin pa nila dito ay wag i-clear yung lanes. You know, yung term nila is freezing the lanes para required ang Aura PH na lumabas na kanilang base. At alam natin, ang Aura kapag hindi sila magkakasama, katulad nito, mababurst down talaga sila.
And look at that, the burst potential. Unravel dito with the Time's Journey. And nagamit na yung ulti ni Greed, nagamit na yung ulti ni Benny. And this is the right time para sa side ng work na lumabas sila dito. Jit Kundo on 3! Knock up tatlo, ladies and gentlemen. Greed dito, ang susunod na tutumba. Vengeance is up, pero sabi ni Kosei dito, ito yung gusto ko, yung pain yung gusto ko. Benny Cutie, makakapag-defend nga ba siya? And look at that burst. Tumba dito agad mga kaibigan si Chu. Pero Kilowash, the last man standing, 1v4! Kakayanin kaya? Hindi kakayanin, and that is going to be work! Taking game number 1!
Ang unang laban ng Work Auster Force in the MPL Season 7 mula sa qualifiers. Already proving na belong sila dito sa liga. Kasama sila talaga dito sa ating liga. Napakaganda mula sa unang laban, mula sa first minute of the game, in control ang Work Auster Force. Nagpakita ng iba't ibang mga heroes as what we did say. Na ang kanilang keys to victory is to bring out something new. Diggy Bruno, tempo control to the max. Para sa side ng Work Auster Force, hindi nila pinahinga ang Aura PH. Kaya hanggang dulo sila ang nagdikta ng laban.
And masayang-masaya mga kaibigan dito yung Work Auster Force with their first win. And ladies and gentlemen, that winning moment is brought to you by Oppo A94. Experience gaming at full speed with Oppo A94, available starting March 26, and Oppo Concept Stores, retail partners, and e-com platforms.
So excited. Sobrang ganda ng progression ng draft ng side ng Work Auster Force. It's smart. Yung sa side ng Aura PH, comfort nila to eh. Yung mga late game heroes, yung mga wave clear heroes, gusto nila patagalin yung laban, but hindi sila necessarily nagko-control ng tempo ng laban. While yung Work Auster Force naman, kinakuha nila yung mga gusto nilang makuha. They have Diggy, Bruno. It works in the meta. Isa pa sa mga bagong highlights ng patch ngayon na pwede ninyong i-expect sa mga susunod na laban. Diggy, Rafa, Estes, yung mga nag-heal talaga, yung mga nagsusupport talaga or nagsusonod ng kalaban, lalabas at lalabas sila sa mga susunod na laban.
I really think, ladies and gentlemen, map control ang kailangan natin bantayan dito.
That's
and
right.
We will throw it over to our resident analyst, Midnight. Midnight, alam ko madaming masasabi tong taong to eh.
Ako naman.
Madaming masasabi tong taong to. Nakita ko siya, nag-aaral siya kanina. And Midnight, take it away.
Thank you so much, casters, and wow, what a showing from Work Auster Force, showing that their force is to be reckoned with. My name is Midnight, this is the analyst desk, and pag-uusapan natin kung ano ba yung mga naging keys to victory dito ng Work Auster Force. Number one, it's the old school answer against crowd control, Diggy. Sabi nila, hindi natin kailangan ng mga malulupitang hero. Kailangan lang natin intindihin yung mechanics as to how skills work, and against an Eve and against a Bane, that is no-brainer, easy Diggy pick talaga for Work Auster Force. Mamaya makikita nyo sa mga highlights natin kung paano ba iniiwasan ng Work Auster Force yung team fight aspect ng kanilang kalaban. Of course, we have to look at the stats, which is brought to you by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of MPL feel free to game great with Smart Free Games for All. Makikita natin dito yung itemization ng ating mga players and of course their stats or records dito sa ating game. Now, one thing to note is the damage score of Chu dito. No? He is standing at 7.2. Hindi nga ganun kataas yung damage output ng Bruno. It's primarily on the objectives here for Work Auster Force, who did game on this Sylvana, and he was really zoning out Greed as well on his ultimates. That's the reason why Aura was not able to find a very confident, a comfortable team fight against Work Auster ng Aura PH, and it really did solidify the performance here of Work Auster Force. And those are the itemizations and the records or the stats of the players on game number 1. Now we are gonna look at the highlights. Moving on after the stats, no? And this most stats is brought to you by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of MPL. Feel free to game great. Feel free to game great with Smart Free Games for All. And makikita na natin in just a few yung mga moments dito, yung mga shining moments ng Work Auster Force as they dominated completely over Aura PH. This game highlights are brought to you by Head and Shoulders. Put your game face on and finally say goodbye to those awkwards and hashtag itchy moments thanks to Head and Shoulders. 100% dander-free and itch-free. Now, mas mabango pa. Pero feeling ko mas mabango yung mga gameplays or yung mga highlights dito ng ating teams. Work Auster Force, early game, sila yung nagde-dictate dito ng tempo. That is to be expected, having a Bruno and a Digi on your lineup. And add to that, the insane teamfight presence of the Esmeralda as well. Kinaya naman ng Aura PH na mag-hold sa mga pushes ng Work Auster Force. They were able to delay the game enough to such a point na nag-activate naman si Kilowash, pati na rin si JP. But then again, look at the positioning always of 3 Martizi and RTZ. These two players were key for the Work Auster Force team. Makikita nyo talagang pang zone out. Si RTZ, pinapakita niya rito yung sarili niya. Not even hiding under the bushes. Sabi niya, okay, ang kailangan ko lang naman gawin is ipang zone at yung aking payong at hulihin si Eve on the backline. Greed was not able to find a decent positioning on these team fights. Now, meron din poging moments, no? Si Benny Cutie rito with his Bane, the flicker into deadly catch. Really catch Bruno dead, no, on his rights, and Chu was taken down. But dito nyo makikita kung gaano ka-excellent yung Digi pick ng Work Auster Force. After the deadly catch, just simply use the Time's Journey para hindi tayo mahuli ng Eve pati na rin ng Bane. And after that, it was sealed off by 3 Martizi with a very beautiful knock-up onto the heroes of Aura PH. And makikita natin Work Auster Force really did put in the work in terms of draft, itemization, and map rotations. But of course, RTZ on that Kagura was very, very fantastic as well. Napakaganda ng performance ng Work Auster Force dito on the back of all the players on this roster. Hindi lang isa yung nag-stand out dito, kundi lahat. Chu with the objective gaming on the Bruno, Unravel with the protection of the Digi. A lot of factors have been put in to the success of Work Auster Force. And now, the MVP of the game, brought to you by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of MPL. Break to your own limits, rise above, and be free to game great with free games for all. MVP of that game is 3 Martizi. That show with 2 key moments on that game. Number 1, nakita natin yung napaka-poging kick in the mid lane with the flicker and to seal the game off with a victory on their back. Really did show a lot on this hero. With KDO 214, medyo mababa, pero nandun pa rin naman yung mga moments as they just contributed to each other to get the victory here for Work Auster Force. Now, the question is, Aura PH, can they find a solution against this playstyle of Work Auster Force, or will they force it to, will they force the game 3, or will Work just clean the series 2-0? That is the question to our casters. Now, casters, let's see game number 2.
Maraming salamat, Midnight, and welcome back to the Caster's Desk, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2. Pero before we forget, syempre, MPL Philippines Season 7 is presented by Smart, our official tournament telco partner. That is a mouthful, ladies and gentlemen. Free to game create with Smart Free Games for All. Ang daming R. Ang daming R ladies and gentlemen.
Heading into the draft of game number 2, interesting question, kaya ba ng Aura-PH na pigilan itong bagong style, or actually hindi naman bagong style, pero isa sa mga new styles na makita natin mula sa Work Auster Force. Ang tanong ay, baka na nga naman kasi hindi tama ang understanding or yung basa ng Aura-PH sa Work Auster Force.
Pero alam mo, bago tayo pumunta sa drafting, masasabi ko lang, kailangan nila isipin na hindi dapat maging linear yung kanilang mga draft. But right now, speaking of draft, who will make the smart choice? Brought to you by Smart, syempre. Etong drafting stage natin by the official tournament telco partner. And alam mo, ang napapansin ko lang naman talaga kasi is parang kailangan talagang isipin dito ng Aura na kailangan nila magdagdag ng flavor dun sa mga ginagawa nilang draft. Kasi considering na napaka-linear nung kanina eh.
Yeah.
As in, literally, ang gusto nilang gawin is i-hold yung members dito ng work into place, tapos yung Bane na yung bahala, yung si JP na yung bahala. Pero kasi kanina hindi pwede yun eh. Ang daming factors na kailangan tignan. Pwedeng pumasok si RTZ na napakaraming gamit, yung Kagura. Pwede silang pigilan ng isang Diggy. May Purify si Esmeralda. Ang daming factors na kailangan nila i-take into consideration bago sila mag-pull off ng mga ganung lineup.
Parang ano yan eh, this is how I look at it, Patters. Pag nakita mo yung lineup ng kalaban at nakikita mo, ay, early game tong composition ng laban. Ay, meron tayong wave clear. Kaya nating i-defend yan. This is one of the most common na MOBA understandings ng mga players, at lalo na pag isang tournament game. Parang isipin mo, hindi, kaya naman yan kasi meron tayong wave clear. But then again, meron tayong na may miss na partners na paano ba natin kakayanin papunta dun sa late game. Kasi yun yung nakita natin sa Aura-PH. On paper, maganda yung kanilang depensa. Kitang-kita naman natin. Pero paano pag nagkamali na sila? Paano kung masyado ng aggressive? Paano kung mas mabilis pala mag-control yung kalaban mo than what you expected? Which is exactly what happened in that game. Aura-PH promising yung kanilang wave clear, promising yung kanilang defense against the tempo control of Work Auster Force. Pero hindi nila tinake into consideration what if yun na nga pinalabas sila dun sa base nila, like what happened in the last clash. Or paano kung si Kose, for example, ay tumatalo na ng gano'n, ng confident dahil sobrang yaman na nga niya. Or si Tri Martizi biglang yung tawag nila yata dun, yung TikTok play eh. Or isa pa yata yun eh. Yung pag Jeet Kundo mo, bago pa bumabag sa lupa, nag-flicker ka na para instant stun.
Alam mo, kulang na lang doon. TP tsaka sticker.
Yun na nga.
yun na yung kulang doon. And as you can see on your screens right now, this is the bootcamp of Aura-PH. Nakita din natin yung bootcamp kanina dyan ng Work Auster Force. And if you want to know more about these bootcamps, nilibot namin ni Wolf Manjin and Rob Blue na kasama din ako. And you wanna watch that, yung videos namin din, which is called Bootcamp Raid. Nandiyan yan sa MPL Philippines page. So make sure you watch those content kasi ang daming niline up ng MPL Philippines sa content para sa inyo, para ma-enjoy nyo.
Okay, going back to the draft butters, I think sobrang importante pa rin para sa akin na ang Aura-PH ay wag nilang ibigay yung Alice at yung Pakito. Although, baka mas mag-emphasize ngayon ang Aura-PH doon sa Esmeralda. Because it kind of feels like yung side ng Work Auster Force ay sobrang komportable dito. At yung Cho din ay kailangan na rin solusyonan itong Aura-PH. Hindi lang dahil doon sa performance ni Trimartizi kanina, but also because it's a flex pick. Parang ano siya, isang hero na kahit saan halos ay pwede mong gamitin. Kahit anong draft. Cho, na sobrang kompleto niya bilang isang hero. Kasi bukod sa kaya niya mag-tank, pwede rin siya mag-side lanes.
Yes, that is true. And as you can see right now on your screens, that is Work Auster Force. And nag-iisip sila dito talaga na mabuti sa kanilang ginagawang drafting. But you know what? Game number 1, kailangan mo talagang pansinin yung mechanical skill dito na pinakita ng Work Auster Force. Kung paano nila ginamit to the maximum potential yung kanilang mga heroes, Wolf.
Yep.
Like yung Kagura. Yun, nakakagulat si RTZ pumapasok sa tatlo eh.
He knows na may backup kasi sa kanya no matter what. Meron kang sarili mong way para tanggalin yung crowd control. Tapos meron ka pang additional na times journey. Kaya naman din siguro sobrang confident niya. Ganda rin ng vision na napoprovide kasi nung bumps nung Digi. Kaya naman din matapang talaga itong paglalaro ni RTZ on the Kagura. Not only that, meron pang additional na tatalon for them. Ano puro talon yung heroes ng side ng Work Auster Force, which is great against heroes na mahilig mag-sit back and relax. Ano ba yung mga heroes na gano'n? Like Eve, like Bane, for example, di ba? Parang dun muna sila sa likod, tapos tsaka sila lalaban. Pero imagine this, merong isang Kagura, may Cho, meron din na Esmeralda. Talagang gap closers yan.
Almost automatically, ang pupuntahan nila lagi is si Eve. And one of the things that Eve, sabihin na lang natin yung wala siya nung mga panahon na yon is going to be the Purify. Now, looking at it, maganda sana yung flicker pero kailangan pagka flicker kasi yung gamit mo, automatic palapit pa lang yung kalaban, dapat na telegraph mo na kung saan sila manggagaling para makapag-flicker out ka sa safety. Yun yung wala siya. Kasi ang ginagawa ni Trey Martizzi kanina, kung papasin mo Wolf, dito yung pumapasok yung sinasabi mong TikTok play. Yung TikTok Jeet Kundo. Yung nasa gitna pa lang, nasa gitna ka na ng pagkakash, tsaka ka mag-flicker. Isipin mo, wala kang time mag-react kapag kaganon yung ginawa sa'yo.
Sobrang instant niya. Isa pang TikTok play na nakita ko, Butters, by the way.
Yung ano?
Yung Jeet Kun, di ba, stun ka. Tapos pag ginamit mo yung Wave the Dragon, flicker ka sa likod. Para yung, di ba, kunwari nakaharap ka dun sa hero. Pagka press mo nung ultimate mo, normally, di ba, syempre, patalikod nung target mo. Pero pag sinipa mo na, tapos nag-flicker ka, another TikTok yun. Nag-flicker ka ng sobrang instant, di ba nasa likod ka nung hero? So, mangyayari, sisipain niya, papunta dun sa base nyo. I don't know if imagine this, isa kang Cho, blue side ka na Cho, tapos yung red side kalaban mo, kung sino man yung hero na yon, pinress mo yung ultimate mo, Wave the Dragon, tapos nag-flicker ka sa likod ng kalaban, papuntang blue side. Yung sipa mo, yun isang TikTok play din.
Is this the same draft as... Oh, no.
It's not, but...
I think it is the same pattern as game number 1. It is the same pattern. Actually, nauna lang yung thumbs.
Digi Cho agad para sa Work Auster Force.
And sabihin na lang natin dito for the side of Work Auster Force, wala silang kailangan baguhin because automatically, pareho lang din yung mga picks na ginawa kanina ng Aura-PH.
This is so weird for me.
Ang weird nito.
Pero mukhang confident ang Aura-PH and it doesn't matter so much. Kita mo naman, tumayo agad si our coach Arcadia at mukhang masaya si Benny Cutie. Ito yung mga mga masabi mong, okay lang. By the way, I wanna say, Butters, ang Aura-PH during the off-season, nananalo sila sa mga series kahit pa natalo sila sa game number 1. Tapos biglang dominant sila sa games number 2 and 3. Medyo version ng Bren Esports ng MPL Season 4 kung saan download game yung tawag sa kanila. At yun ang nakikita ko ngayon sa Aura-PH. But this is off-season. Off-season games. Kasi nga naman, kakaiba mag-isip to si Arcadia. Ang galing nila mag-recover from losses. Yan ang masasabi kong isang napakagandang asset ng Aura-PH. They are so good when it comes to recovering from losses.
And yung pinaka-recent na nag-download game sa MPL regular season was probably Onyx.
That is
diba?
also true.
So,
no MPL Season 6.
So, MPL Season 6. So, ibig sabihin yan, sa mga nakapanood na Season 4, okay lang. Kung di ka manood na Season 4, at nanood ka ng Season 6, okay lang din. May mga examples tayo.
That's right.
All seasons dito sa MPL, meron laging ganyan. Naalala ko pag ginawa pa ng Archangel dati yan eh.
At again, nung Season 3.
Season 3, di ba? So, talagang, alam mo yon, these kinds of patterns or trends, nangyayari talaga siya all throughout the MPL seasons. And kung papansinin mo, if your hunch is correct na talaga makakabawi sila dito dahil nag-download game lang sila ng game number 1, then Work Auster Force, kailangan nila dito na talagang mag-brace for impact. Ito na yung Aura-PH na hinahanap nyo.
Let's see. We'll finally see the draft as of now. Well, at least yung game, si Greed lumilipad muna sa mapa. Siya naman yung nagkagura. There's a Grok para kay Raflesha. Si Chu going for a slower tempo ngayon gamit ang kanilang Claude. Pero nasa kanila pa nga rin ang Digi.
Ipapasin mo dito, Grok with the high and dry Raflesha dito. Going for something unusual. Ito yung sinasabi natin, Wolf, yung creativity ng Arcadia at yung consistency, textbook plays na ginagawa ni Dale. It's all falling into place. And nakikita mo naman kung gaano ka-aggressive dito yung aura.
You can see na ang ginawa doon ni Rafflesia is sinreten niya yung Claude. Alam natin na compared to the Bruno, yung Claude mas mabagal mag-take yan ng buffs. Kaya siguro nag-high and dry ito si Rafflesia kasi gusto niyang pigilan yung pagja-jungle ng work Auster Force. And look at this, JP carry ang gamit niya bilang jungling hero. Retribution.
Alam mo, dati nung sabihin natin M2 World Championships, ginagamit din to ng isang team doon, which is the Burmese Ghouls, and tinatawag nila tong Claude Killer.
That's right.
Kasi meron siyang wild charge na kayang pigilan yung Blazing Duet.
Yeah.
At kapag sa mga early stages of the game, nakahuli siya ng isang Power of Nature at ng isang wild charge, automatic, burado na ang isang Claude.
Interestingly, Sprint instead of Flicker ang pinili dito ni Rafflesia para maging anti-Claude. But in a way, it also makes sense. Para din maganda yung person like this, pwede ka maging aggressive and just to get out. Ang kaibahan nga lang sa mga normal na Claude Killer na Grox in the tank role ay nagpo-pull yourself together sila. With high and dry, medyo mas malambot ka. Pwede yan, Grox side lanes. Kapag nakakuha ka na ng Heptasis mo, go for tanky items at ang lakas mo from the side lanes at isa kang tunay na Claude Killer. But that was January pa, Butters. January pa natin huling nakita yon. It might not work this time. Sobrang iffy para sa akin ng choice nito para sa RPH. Then again, ang gusto naman nilang gawin ay mag-hyper farm gamit ang carry na naka-retribution.
Now, this is very interesting. Doon sa nakita natin sa draft na una, it's not going to be a show. It's obviously a lapu-lapu for 3 Martizi dito. And dito natin kilala yung work Auster Force na pumipili sila ng mga stable side lane heroes na kayang suportahan yung sarili nilang lane and they win from that. Ganito yung Claude formula na ginagawa nila.
Yeah, it is their way para umabot naman sa late game. Ito yung talagang masasabi kong strategy ng work Auster Force. Medyo late game centric kasi sila. Kaya nga din nagulat ako nung game number 1 against the Aura PH, just the previous one, wherein sila naman yung tempo controllers.
Oo, and JP right now, hinuhuli si 3 Martizi dito. And look at the damage output, na-stun siya dito. Pero Kilowash, nasa vicinity, and that's going to be the turtle na talagang ipipilit dito ng side ng work. Kosei, RTZ, nag-rotate na sila dito. Ang kulang na lang si Chu, 5 na yung tao galing sa work dito. Guardian's Barrier, tinapon, pero yung turtle dito hindi makabalik. Ay naku, nag-U-turn. Oy, pero nakahuli na dito, ladies and gentlemen. JP dito, gets called out. The Falling Star Moon is there. RTZ using the Cyclone. Ay, makakatakas ba siya dito? Benny Cutie. Oh my goodness, makakaalis ba siya? And kamuntikan ng makatakas. Pero si Benny Cutie, meron pa rin siyang skill. Meron pa rin siyang physical attack. And that's going to take RTZ down. And sa dami-dami na nangyari ninyon, Wolf, makukuha pa rin ata dito ng work na hindi kinokontest ng Aura yung turtle.
Ginamit ng Guardian Spare this time.
Oh! What?
Okay.
Kakasabi ko lang na hindi mako-contest pero Wolf, mali pala yung sinabi ko. Inagaw pa nila.
Okay. He's known as what? Insection ba? Tawag kay intersection. Rafflesia. High and dry for maximum damage. Wala siyang kahit anong sanang way instead of the wild charge. Aside from the wild charge para manakaw yung turtle na yon. Pero may retribution kasi si Chu. So, this is weird. Kaya naman nakuha nga naman ni Rafflesia kasi maganda yung kanyang timing. He knows na hindi ganun ka-perfect yung retribution dito ni Chu. Kaya naman nanakaw niya. So, yun na super duper worth. Sobrang win-win yon para sa Aura dahil wala silang sinayang. Tank ni Rafflesia, expendable ang wild charge. Hindi kinailangan ng oras ni Benny Cutie at ni Kilowash. Nakakuha sila ng free turtle.
Alam mo kung naalala ko dito? Yung season 1, yung laging Grak yung kumukuha ng
si
turtle.
Lusty.
Oh, yung Grak na kahit sinong Grak, sila yung humahawak ng turtle para extra protection para sa kanya. Yun yung naaalala ko. Si Unravel dito, kamunti ka na mahuli. Pero one more physical attack coming up from the Kagura. Tutumba siya dito. And kung titignan mo yung mapa ng work dito, talagang pinapalit ng Aura. Tignan mo kung gano'n sila ka-aggressive.
Nag-work bigla itong Grok na ginamit ng Aura PH dahil pwede sila maging aggressive. Ito yung kinulang sila kanina. Wala silang hero na talagang nagfe-face check ng mga bush. For example, si Sylvana, hindi ka naman din talaga dadaan dun sa mga bush para gamitin yung sarili mo dahil ang dali mong i-burst down, lalong-lalo na may Kagura tas meron pang Digi with the bombs. This time, it's a Grok na pag dumikit sa mga walls, ang taas agad ng regen, nakakagiging aggressive siya this time. Nagkakaroon ng extra vision yung Aura PH in this game compared to previous game na wala silang ganong klaseng hero.
Kung napapasin dito, napipilitan kasi si Chu lagi na gamitin yung retribution niya. So ano ibig sabihin nun kapag nagamit niya yung retribution niya? May mga times na sa objectives dito sa may mapa, yung turtle up na, pag wala siya dito retribution, automatically, napipilitan silang i-give up yun. Katulad netong turtle na to, and that's going to be a great pick-off para sa work. And look at that flame shot. Sa pool na sa pool! Galing kay Kuya Greed.
Beautiful play. Greed, isa sa mga favorite heroes niya. Even in MPL Season 6, Kagura, taking advantage of the burst, pati nga naman yung idea na malambot yung mga heroes ng work Auster Force. Ang ginawa ng Aura PH na move, let's call it a diversion tactic, gumawa ng play, ito si Kiluwash, it looks really mindless, Butters, na lumaban ka, nakipag 1v1 ka sa apat, or at least 1v4. Pero, ang talagang gusto nilang gawin ay kumuha ng sarili nilang turtle.
1v1 sa 5, 1v1 sa 4. Nauso talaga sa atin yan. Pero
Di na mawawala sa atin
Di
yan.
na mawawala sa atin yan. 3 RTC dito, inipit ng mga pating. Pating, and that is going to be another pick-off. Ba't ka umiiling?
Wala.
Ba't ka umiiling? Walang ilingan.
Pating ang ginamit ng Aura PH para mas slow down doon si Three Martizi. Alam kasi nila yung weakness ng isang Lapu-Lapu. Kapag nabato mo na yung ultimate mo, hindi ka na makakapaglakad-lakad dyan. It's not like Pakito na makakatakas sa ganung mga moments. Dahil may slow din naman si JP na kapatay nila. And tignan mo naman, the Claude Killer is online.
The Claude Killer. And napapansin mo din si Raflesia, talagang pinapakita nila na kaya din nila manduhan yung mapa. Binibigay nila yung ginawa, binabalik nila yung ginawa ng work sa kanila nung game number 1. Eh kung babasin mo dito, lumiliit yung mapa ng work. Ibig sabihin, umuunti yung resources na makukuha ni Chu.
Yeah. Unlike the previous game, Work Auster Force, wala naman silang hard initiator. Hindi katulad ng mga members sa RPH kung saan yung Grok pwedeng mauna sa laban. Or in the previous game wherein may Cho, meron kayong mixture ng Cho, Kagura, as well as the Esmeralda. This time, meron lang silang Lapu and Esmeralda. Admittedly, maganda yung Lapu-Lapu before the nerfs. Napakalakas niyang pumronta talaga at magsimula ng laban. But this time, during the recent patches, hindi na ganun ka-effective ang isang Lapu-Lapu. In fact, makikita natin na nasa-shred ang Lapu-Lapu this time. Dahil nga naman meron na tayong carry. Walang makakapronta kasi nga naman sa carry, lalong-lalo na pag maganda ang simula.
Kilowash dito trying to defend this pero nawala ang mga minions and Chu hindi aabot ang kanyang damage. RTZ dito hinahabol ni Raflesia, mapipilitan siya gumamit ng flicker and that's going to be Guardian's Barrier. Hindi tatama yung wild charge pero doon sa may likod, very cute dito, pinapakita niya na yung potensyal ng isang Bane. Pero Greed, sabi niya dito, kala nyo kayo lang yung marunong mang-burst. Ako din.
And I think nakikita natin ngayon para sa side ng Work Auster Force, nagkakaroon na sila ng range problems. Ano ba ibig sabihin yan? Ito yung problema nila kasi kailangan nilang medyo mag-dive. If you're looking at their heroes, Lunox and Claude, hindi talaga sila yung pinakamalalayo ang range. In fact, kailangan lumapit ang Claude as well as the Lunox to deal the damage. Hindi yung titingnan natin, Esmeralda as well as the Lapu, kailangan din pumasok yan. Which means na sobrang effective ngayon ng Bane pati na rin ng carry. Even the Grok, pag lumapit ang Work Auster Force, without their time's journey, talaga makatras sila. Look at that! Burst coming out from the Bane.
Ang lakas talaga ng zoning potential ng isang Bane. Nakita mo, lumabas yung mga pating. Pero napilitan umalis ng kabilang mapa, kabilang side dito, yung mga members ng Work. And right now, papansinin mo talagang nagpo-push na lang sila. Look at the damage coming out from Greed. Isang payong lang. One-fourth ng buhay ni RTZ yung nawala.
This is the problem when your Work Auster Force, yung sustain mo ay hindi talaga hard sustain. Hindi siya tulad ng mga heroes na tulad ng Grok, Tigreal, yung mga innately tanky talaga. If you're looking at Esmeralda, Lunox, and Lapu-Lapu as well as the Claude, kailangan nilang mag-skill muna para kumunat. Alam mo yun, may kailangan nilang ng shields or kailangan nilang mang-micro ng kalaban. Like Lunox, kailangan mag-lifesteal or mag-pop ng ultimate. Pag binigla na sila ng isang Bane na nag-flicker ulti, doon na sila mayayari.
Papasin mo dito, napaka-unusual din ang ginawa ni JP dito. He goes straight for the Wind Talker first. And that will give JP the extra, sabihin na ng damage output na kakailanganin niya into the early game, or into the mid-game skirmishes. Ngayon, mag-focus na siya into building an endless battle. At dito, si JP, nakikita na natin, talagang kontrolado niya na yung mapa, kontrolado niya din yung gubat nung kabila. So, ibig sabihin dito, endless flow of gold para sa side ng Aura PH.
Hindi lang yan, pati na rin yung mga crucial na objectives. Dominance Ice ang nakuha ngayon ng ating Diggy. So, very crucial item, much needed, but it might not be enough. Baka kailangan pa rin sila ng pagiging makunat laban sa Aura PH, lalong-lalo na sobrang yaman na ngayon ni JP. Kahit si Benny Cutie ay ang taas na rin ng kanyang damage output dahil, mind you, naka-sulit card to. Naka-mystery shop, which means na mabilis lang siya makakuha ng items at nakakapag-free farm pa siya ngayon. Manggugulat na naman to, Butters. Gonna have to take note for work, Auster Force. Mahirap magdepensa on their side dahil pwede silang i-flicker deadly catch ng ating Bane.
Sabihin na lang natin dito na for work din, hindi din ganon kaganda yung range capabilities sila dito. Katulad nga sinabi mo kanina, ngayon magpupush sila. Sino mga kailangan nila kalabanin? Si Carry, si Tams, si Bane. Kung papansinin mo, si RTZ din dito, kahit sabihin mong yes, may way siya para mag-clear ng waves, nag-i-involve din yun na talagang lumapit siya ng onte eh.
Yeah.
So, ibig sabihin dito, si Diggy talaga yung magiging susi nila sa pag-wave clear lang dito.
Kita naman natin. Hirap na hirap ang work, Auster Force na magdepensa. Hindi ba that burst?
Oh my goodness, pero Chu dito lumalaban siya and Greed will go down. Raflisha dito is the next target. Si Chu dito nakaka-free hit. Hindi nila kakayanin! Pero Claude pops off, ladies and gentlemen! Look at that! The full capability, the full potential of Bane. Pinakita sa atin dito ng Aura. And yun, yung magic damage. And tignan mo, yung mga TP na lumalabas dito, nag-TTP na sila. Unravel dito, gusto pa i-take down ni JP. Pero JP goes down in the process. And game number 2, babawiin ng Aura. And we will go to a game number 3.
That was fast. Sobrang bilis. In a snap, nakatunaw agad. Bane. Ito yung hina-hype. Si Rob Luna na nanonood ngayon, sinipe niya to na pag hindi daw nakita yung Bane sa ban or sa picks, may dinaya daw. At hina-hype niya sa atin sa mga kasus gano'ng kataas ang damage output na to. And now, see it so you can believe it.
Thanks to Head & Shoulders, 100% dandruff free and itch free. Now, mas mabango pa.
I can't believe it. You know what? Sinabi natin na ang Aura PH ay magaling mag-recover from the losses at sobrang lupit pa no kanilang recovering in game number 2 kasi which is face check heroes like the Grok for example, pati na rin yung sobrang slow nila na tempo kanina ay binilisan nila ngayon compared to the previous game.
And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, parehong-pareho lang tayo ng sentiments about that game. We will throw it over to our analyst Midnight. Baka may iba pa siyang masabi dito sa game na to.
You know what? The difference is game number 2, Aura PH didn't really care about team fight, didn't really care about skills. They just took damage, and that was what sealed the game here for Aura PH and forcing out game 3 against Auster Force. Welcome back to the Analyst Desk. My name is Midnight, and dito pag-usapan natin kung ano ba yung naging adjustments dito ng Aura PH, kung bakit nailabas nila yung game 3 out of this series. Now, I have to talk about the Grok pick of Raflisha. No, hindi natin nakita yung draft, pero most likely it was a telegraph pick by Aura PH. They saw the Lunox, they saw the Diggy, and ang solution lang dito is, okay, huwag tayong gumamit ng mga heroes na dependent sa skills and lockdowns. Let's just use, sabi nga ng cases natin, no, yung mga face check heroes. Now we're gonna look at the stats here, brought to us by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of MPL. Feel free to game grade with Smart free games for all. And makikita nyo rito yung mga scores ng ating players. 11 kills for Aura and 5 for Work Auster Force. It was a really fast game, no? And it was because of the presence of the Grok on the early game. Pag tinignan nyo yung lineup ng Aura PH, no? Actually, there's no real, there's no real condition for these guys. Hindi sila naghihintay ng ultimate, hindi sila naghihintay ng exact timing for these spells. They don't even need to catch people off guard on the side of teamwork. They just output damage. Yun lang yung ginagawa ng lineup to. And you saw that with Benny Cutie even chasing RTZ in the middle lane earlier and just using the flicker into deadly catch combination to take out the Claude. And that was, the overall look of the game. And once again, guys, these stats are brought to us by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of MPL. Free to game great with Smart, free games for all. And nakita nyo naman kanina, no? Actually, makikita nyo ulit sa highlights kung paano ba kwinasak ng Aura PH yung early game ng Work Auster Force. It was basically just Rafflesia moving around. Now, we're gonna move on to the highlights of the series, game, brought to us by Master. Bring your clay game with Master, sikreto ng mga gwapo. Ito makikita natin yung sikreto ni Rafflesia, yung poging-poging, gwapong-gwapong Grok natin. But first, si Benny Cutie on the early game, makita natin yung presence ni Bane on these skirmishes. Again, hindi sila naghihintay ng mga skills. They just spam them to dish out the damage. And Aura PH, they know na they're just waiting for the items here of JP on the carry. And honestly, they could have picked other marksmen here, no? The YSS, even the Clint, the Granger. It could have worked because the whole idea of the draft of Aura PH just destroys what Work Auster Force has. Having the Digi and the Lunox, these guys wait for opportunities. They bait out skills on the enemy side. But look at Aura PH. Every time they see a hero, they just go. They just commit. Unravel being damaged by the flame shot with a slow, forced to use the time's journey, and of course, hahabulin lang yan ng Aura PH, easily securing kills after kills after kills after kills. 6-2 ang ating kill score pagdating ng 8 minutes 40 seconds in, and they just pushed in. After the Lord, napakaganda ng opportunity para isang nakagad yung game. Makikita natin dito yung napakagandang deadly catch ni Benny Cutie, and it was an easy victory here for Aura PH, securing game number 2 against Work Auster Force. And once again, the game here, the idea here of Aura PH is just to dish out damage. Hindi natin wag na tayong magpabadri pa kay Digi and kay Lunox. Wag na natin hintayin yung mga skills natin. Let's just use Grok and get vision, propel ourselves to victory and get that game number 3. Ngayon, ang MVP ay kokoranahan natin dito sa ating game. Kanina nakita natin yung mga amazing performance ng mga players natin. And this time around, we will have Benny Cutie for the MVP. Brought to you by Smart, the official tournament. Alam, kahit pangit game 1 ko, Bane pa rin tayo game 2. KDA of 305. And look at the damage dealt here, 37,035. Kung iisipin nyo na medyo maliit yan, 37,000. That was a game under 15 minutes. So napakataas niyan for a Bane, and it was just the entire series. Will work, make the dream work, or will Aura PH have this aura fire?
Fact na sobrang daming naghahangin na balance dito sa first series na to. Ano-ano yun? Confidence mo. To thank the one who presents us. Syempre, ang MPL-PH Season 7 is presented by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of the MPL. Free to game great with Smart, free games for all.
And you did mention about the importance of your first series. Ano nga ba ang importansya ng pinakaunang series ng iyong MPL Season 7 run? You know what? Weirdly enough, Butters, mukhang mas importante pa to sa Aura kaysa sa Work Auster Force. For Work Auster Force, they don't need to prove anything in a way. Pero yung para sa Aura PH, parang eto na naman para yung huling laban nila sa regular, sa season, sa MPL Season 6 was kind of bad. Dahil 0-3 sila. Pero ngayon, pag natalo pa sila ng isang bagong team sa MPL, edi lalong-lalo na talagang mahihirapang makarecover mentally in a way or emotionally ang side ng Aura PH. While yung Work Auster Force, pwede nila i-shrug off yan. They still have plenty of more things ahead of them. Pero para sa Aura PH, it matters more. Siguro, ganun na rin kataas ang pressure sa side ng Aura PH. Kaya kailangan nilang maipanalo itong series na to.
I like it kasi parang may psychology na din dito eh. May player psychology na rin kung paano yung mag-feel ng team kapag natalo sila dito, kung paano pag nanalo sila, kung gaano ka-importante ito sa confidence sila.
Yeah.
It's something that we really have to consider because the thing is, although nakikita natin dito yung mga games, there is a factor din, ladies and gentlemen, na may mga iba't ibang personality yung mga teams. May iba't ibang mga nakakapagpasaya sa kanila, may iba't ibang nakakapagpalungkot. So, ibig sabihin, ang daming kailangan i-consider dito sa MPL-PH Season 7. And I'm glad we got to know the players even more as the seasons went by.
Oh, saktong-sakto nung nakita natin yung Aura PH. I think ikaw mismo yung nagsabi at nagkwento sa akin kasi na-interview ninyo ang Aura PH. Isa sila sa mga pinaka-masaya na team, mas bonded together. At nakikita naman natin na may mga issues ang Aura PH. Kahit nung off-season ng MPL, nakita natin na natatalo sila ng mga teams. Pero ang galing kasi mag-recover nitong team na to. I wanna say, wag natin masyadong i-expect or i-pressure ang Aura PH na kailangan dapat din nanalo sila sa lahat ng laban. Yung tatlong bagong players sila, kailangan pa rin natin isipin, work in progress pa rin yan. So kailangan pa rin natin bigyan ng time bago sila maging talagang solid na solid.
Now, coming into Game 3, I think for Work and Aura dito, there are a lot of things to consider in terms of drafting. And considering na yung Bane really gave a headache dito para sa side ng Work, tingin mo ba, Wolf, kailangan na iban yung Bane?
Oh, that's a very interesting question. Tingin ko hindi. Tingin ko hindi naman.
Pero nakita mo kung gaano kadaming damage yung nabibigay niya sa isang go lang.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I think yung draft lang talaga ng Work Auster Force ay hindi kakayanin yung Bane pag hindi nila na-earlyhan. Yun nga yung term, diba?
That's correct.
Pag hindi mo na-earlyhan, yun ang mas sinasabi ng mga pro players. And that happens a lot kapag yung Bane ay nabigyan ng free farm. Obviously, makaka-farm agad. And nakita naman natin in the previous game, nung sila yung nag-dictate ng tempo, parang hindi naman naging problema sa kanila yung mismong Bane. So I think na kung alam nila kung paano kontrahin yung hero na yon, give it even sa Aura PH. Kasi pag in-open mo yan sa Aura PH at nakita nila, oh my god, open yung Bane, kukunin ba natin to? Parang pino-force nila yung Aura PH na kumuha ng Bane at pwede nilang i-counter.
Yeah.
So honestly, hindi pa rin siya for me na talagang totally autoban hero. Mas madami pang OP heroes na ayaw mo ibigay sa side ng Aura PH. For example, Cho. Ayaw mo siyang ibigay kasi flex pick yan. Rafflesia as well as Kilowash, they can play it. Pakito, wag mo ibibigay. Esmeralda or Brody. There's so many heroes na wag mong ibibigay sa side ng Aura PH at baka hindi enough yon para ilagay yung Bane doon.
Ang dami natin nakuha kay Wolf doon, sa totoo lang. And very interesting coming into game number 3. There are a lot of things to consider. Pati yung Kagura dito, in terms of the series alone.
So far, no?
100% win rate siya on both games.
Some very... I think ngayon, napakita natin sa MPL Season 6 na meron na talagang quote-unquote mid lane, which is yung role na tawag natin doon yung support eh. Parang yun eh, pero killer support eh, di ba? Pero yung tinatawag nating mid lane.
Way back, meron naman na. Pero I think yung sinasabi mo dito is mas defined na yung role.
That's right. Mas defined na yung role ng mid lane nga natin. At baka Kagura yung maging bida nung lane na yon. Just because of the fact na parang kailangan bawat team ay may Kagura user. Kasi parang nakukuha mo yan eh. It's a very good hero to be in the mid lane kasi meron siyang killing potential. May solo kill potential siya. At kapag nag-reflect
drafting screen in just a bit, and this brought to you by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of the MPL. Free to game great with Smart, free games for all. Drafting na tayo, Wolf, and this is going to be exciting. Yung draft na tinignan natin eh, kasi kung papansinin nyo yung game naman nila, nung nag-dominate sila pareho dun sa mga respective games na napanalo nila, parang pareho lang sila ng gustong gawin eh.
Yeah. The tempo control is the key. Baka yan yung bago nating matutunan ngayon MPL Season 6. Ano be the Pakito ban? At for the third time in a row, mukhang ang Aura PH pa rin ang nasa blue side bunkers.
Aura PH, ayaw talaga nila bitawan yung blue side na yan. Masyado silang nagpo-focus talaga dyan sa first pick na yan. And they really give it a lot of priority. Well, for the side of Work Auster Force, they're still going for that Joe headband.
Yeah. Joe, isang hero na pasok kasi sa kahit anong lineup talaga. Okay. So just like in game number 1, Alice followed up, Pakito followed up by Alice ang ban ng side ng Aura PH, while Work Auster Force is also the same. Gonna be followed up by the Natalia na second ban nila. And Aura PH might go for the Alice, for the Esmeralda or Selena once again. It's like in game number 1.
Alam mo,
Selena nga ulit.
Nakikita ko lang dito para side ng Aura at saka sa Work Auster. Ito yung mga heroes na ayaw lang talaga nila ibigay sa kabila kasi alam nila kapag may lumusot dito, sila yung magkakaroon ng problema.
Yeah.
Now, this is the same bans as, game number 1 din. And now Aura PH, will they still go for the Sylvana first pick?
I don't think so. I think may available pa na Cho. Meron pang available na Esmeralda. So mas magandang unahin yan.
Samus ba? It's going to be a Samus.
That is surprising to me. Pero kasi naman, don't fix what's not broken. I mean, para dito kay Kilowash, ang sabi ni Coach Arcadia, pre, tamos hanggang mabulag.
Tamos hanggang mabulag.
That's how it goes. Isa sa mga paboritong heroes ni Kilowash. Baka naman din kasi mas na komportable ang side ng Aura PH kapag ito ang napipick.
Kumbaga nagkakaroon sila ng isang stable or consistent na side laner na pwede niya sabihin sa early game, anak, ako na, itabi mo na. Ako na bahala. Yun yung sasabihin ka dun sa nagpa-farm. It's probably the jungler, it's probably the gold lane. Pero may isa pa tayo aspeto na hindi nakikita dito sa Aura PH. They can still go for a possible 1-1 pick, a possible marksman pick on Benny Cutie. Kasi hindi lang naman ito talaga yung hero na hindi lang naman talaga Bane yung ginagamit ni Benny Cutie. Benny Cutie.
Pero alam mo, pwede ka mag-Kagura Bane ulit para sa side ng Aura PH.
Actually,
It's really not stopping you. Kasi Work Auster Force, kinuha din nila yung Esmecho. So ano nga bang kunin? Grok as well as the Kagura.
Naku, kumuha ng mga Bruce ko agad dito yung Aura PH. Kumuha sila ng Tams, kumuha sila ng Grok. And this is para sa akin yung winning formula na iniisip dito ng Aura PH is to just go for that Kagura.
Yeah.
Ang dami nagagawa ni Kagura ngayon, napaka-swabe ng utility niya, yung mga stuns niya instantaneous. Pag pumasok ka pa at nag-mix or nag-join ulit kayo nung payong, nagkakaroon ka pa ng extra armor. But for Work Auster, they get the show. And this is the surprising change na hinahanap natin kanina pa kasi parang sabihin na natin, although may mga heroes na nababago, identical pa rin yung gusto nilang gawin.
Yeah.
And Sylvana is yung change na hinahanap dito ng Work Auster.
Kailangan nila ng konting tankiness sa kanilang side. And Sylvana, syempre may konting sustain yan. Hindi naman siya kasing kunat ng isang Grok, but at the same time, hindi naman siya kasing lambot ng isang Biggie. At ang bonus sa kanya is meron siyang extra catch. Ayaw nilang makatakas itong si Kagura or si Thams or maging sobrang problema sa kanila sa mid-games. That's why they already took this Sylvana. This also tells us na mukhang side lane Cho pa rin para sa ng Work Auster Force. Nag-work na siya before, it can work again. Thams versus Cho in the side lane. Yan ang gustong matchup na ipakita ng Work Auster Force. And in a way, may konting advantage sila pareha sa isa't isa. Cho being mas maganda siya sa team fight, mas maaga siya mag-online when it comes to team fights. Thams naman kaya mag-farm until such time na hindi na siya problemado sa damage output ng Esmeralda. In fact, biglang sasakit ang isang Thams.
Alam mo, Wolf, iniisip ko ang Work Auster dito ang nasa utak nila ngayon. Aura PH, lagi sila nagmo-marksman jungle. Kunin natin yung Cho, kasi naka-retribution naman lagi si JP. You don't really see JP on the lands, on the lane. kung makakapili siya ng isang marksman, mas gugustuhin nila yon.
Yeah.
If they can go for a YSS, tatandaan natin, ever since Season 2, ever since Season 3, kilala talaga si JP as a marksman.
Yeah. We can see na yung Claude niya last season is very impressive. Baka nga makita ulit tayo.
Impressive is an understatement.
At that is true. Ang lupit ng kanyang pinakita. Carry was the... Okay. Okay. Carry, talaga, I was just about to Sams at Sagrok at pinik na siya ng Work Auster Force. Hindi na naghintay. 100% sure that this is their shredder para sa Aura-PH. Handa ba sila dito? You know what? Bakit hindi tayo, bakit hindi sila mag-ling para sa Aura-PH?
Pwede.
Could be good.
Pwede. Pero alam mo, nakikita ko na yung ngiti ngayon nung
or Claude.
Marksman Jin.
Ay, syempre.
Kasi nagagamit na naman daw ulit yung carry eh.
He's going for the Phantom Step. He's going for the Phantom Step.
1, 2, 3, 4, Phantom Step. Yun yung mga favorite ni Manjin. Pero, Aura-PH, the moment na sinabi natin na hindi gumagamit si JP ng mga marksman, ng mga assassins as much as possible, ito din yung pagbabago na hinahanap nila. And I think this is a great move coming up from them kasi isipin mo, kayang-kaya mo hulihin yung carry.
Yeah. Oh, very interesting mula doon sa side ng Aura-PH to go for the Lancelot, which I'll explain later. I think yung Work Auster Force, they need a mage na maganda yung clear. Somewhere along the lines of Chango, but instead they go Kadita. Okay, and this is interesting mula sa side ng Work Auster Force. Kasi yung Aura-PH, nabigyan sila ng pass na kumuha ng Lancelot kasi pag tinignan mo yung unang 4 na picks ng Work Auster Force, parang isa lang yung talagang panghuli, which kind of means na yung Lancelot, ay, playing field ko to. Pero kumuha yung Work Auster Force ng additional, which is the Kadita, na pwede ding pang-counter dun sa mga, alam mo yung nakatayo lang na heroes like Khalid, kasi instant stun yan. And also, pwedeng mag-burst kapag may nahuli na nga. When the Lancelot gets caught here, Butters, once na mahuli yan, meron kang immediate burst from the Kagura. Ngayon nga lang, question mark is, mahuhuli ba si JP?
Yun ang tanong. Tingnan natin guys. And looking at it, Aura-PH versus Work Auster Force, sino nga ba mananalo? Sa game number 3 netong series na to, it is a 1-1. Sino nga ba ang makakuha ng points? At sino nga ba ang kailangan bumalik sa drawing board?
Who's gonna get the confidence? Yun yung lalo tinitingnan ko dito.
Yung confidence din.
Kasi para sa side ng Aura-PH, sobrang importante na manalo sila sa unang laban na ito. Unang series, they wanna regain yung kanilang championship stance, kumbaga. Pero ganong skill na nakikita natin mula kay Paquito. Pero para naman sa Work Auster Force, this is just more about confidence. Kung kaya nilang talunin ang Aura-PH, for sure, kahit sino kaya nilang talunin. Because they know that they belong here in the league. Kailangan ng Work Auster Force na mapakita sa lahat ng viewers ngayon na yung kanilang performance ng qualifiers ay hindi pang qualifiers lang.
And look at Dream RTZ dito. Nag-hold off siya ng kanyang pangatlo, yung Jit Kundo. Di ba tatlo yun? Yung Jit, yun Kun, yun Do.
Tama.
Hinold niya yun Do.
Oo. Hindi niya muna nilabas.
Hindi niya muna nilabas yung Do. Nung nilabas niya yung Do, wala na. Taas ng damage eh.
This, by the way, is Season 5 Aura-PH, kung saan sila ang gods of invade. Mahilig sila mag-invade. At nakita mo si Raflesha, ginamit niya si Kiluwash, wala na silang pakialam. Kinuha nila, ninakaw nila yung orange buff na dapat ay na kay Chu. Para naman, si Lancelot, which is JP, hindi na siya problema.
At gagawin nila yun eh. Kasi si Raflesha dito ay tutumba. And if ikaw ang Aura, makikita mo, napaka-ultimate dependent nung supporting tandem ng isang carry.
Yeah.
Talagang mag-invade ka eh.
And yung si JP on the Lancelot, normally, ang iyong jungler, pinoprotektahan mo para makakuha ng buffs. But, Aura-PH, ang kanilang ginawa is the typical Aura-PH nung Sunsparks pa nga sila nung Season 5, kung saan nanggugulo lang sila. So, yung si Raflesha at si Greed, imbis na protektahan nila si Lancelot, or yung si jungler na si JP, kumuha na lang sila ng aggressive stance against their opponents para mahirapang makahabol yung Work Auster Force. Kaya nga naman, early game now goes to Aura-PH.
Very cute dito. Tinatalon nila Chu and Kosei. Nakuha niya yung kill. Chu on the other hand, medyo kinapos na ng onti yung damage niya doon. That could have been a killing spree proc, pero at least nakuha nila yung kill.
I think yung RPH, happy sila na i-sacrifice lagi yung isang hero nila para maging successful yung ibang parts naman ng mapa. Like this time, Kiluash, makakuha na naman ng orange buff. In fact, ibibigay nila kay JP. So, sobrang taas ng difference ngayon ng ating mga jugglers. Kasi si Carry, dependent siya na may medyo nagbabantay sa kanya. So, that's why Unravel as well as RTZ, medyo kailangan nilang i-bodyguard yung kanilang carry.
Oy!
But this time the burst! We were talking about this, Butters. At yun na nga, yung reason kung ba't Kadita ay kinuha.
Nilagyan ng hydraulics mga kaibigan. Lancelot na patalon, get bounce. Rapli siya dito, siya ang pinaka-main target. And another bounce, another knock-up para dito sa Aura PH. And that is 2 kills na almost simultaneous. It just happened on the different side of a map.
My goodness, RTZ, very impressive sa kanyang pwestuhan sa mapa. Game number 1, yung kanyang Kagura, naalala mo, bigla siya naka-burst ng isang hero sa mid-game. Ngayon naman, early game Kadita, alam niya na level 4 na siya. Alam niya na may damage output na siya. Nag-antay siya dun sa bush na pwedeng daanan ni Lancelot. And JP, hindi niya talaga i-expect yun.
Tsaka, kung iisipin mo din dito, Wolf, papasinin mo yung lineup ng Aura. Wala na sila masyadong pang face check dito. Wala silang masyadong pang check ng brush dito kung hindi mag-face check. Bruce ko sila, pero kung iisipin mo, mag-face check ka laban sa isang Kadita, almost always certain na madadala ka niya sa, sabihin natin, 1/4 HP o baka mabura ka niya.
And just like in that case, the Lancelot, malambot masyado against the Lancelot. At ngayon yung work Auster first nakahanap ng biglang ng launch pad to get more farm ngayon. In fact, nagbabalk na sila sa turtle pero medyo magbaback sila. As Aura PH, maganda yung kanilang pwestuhan dito. Lalong-lalo na meron silang Grok!
Then again, ladies and gentlemen, merong Kagura doon. And look at that. Khaled going in. 3 Martis dito. Gets punished. That's going to be a double kill para kay Kiluash. Kosei dito. Hinahabol siya ni Kiluash. At galit na galit si Kiluash dito. And look at that! RTZ with the play! And nahuli niya dito si Lancelot. Pero that won't be enough. Grabe ang ginagawa ni RTZ dito. Talagang pinipilit niya na ma-burst down etong si JP. At sa 2 beses na sinubukan niya gawin, successful siya sa 2 yon.
And it's worth it. Kahit namatay na doon si RTZ, okay lang. Nakuha sila ng, pinigilan nila yung pag-farm dito ng Aura PH. Then again, I would love to take note ang ganda ng ginawa dito ni Benny Cutie. After that fight, dumiretso siya doon sa purple buff na dapat ay na kay Chu. That's why mahirapan na naman ulit makarecover si Chu when it comes to the farm. Kailangan ng work Auster Force ng way para makakuha ng items dito si Chu, pero pinipigilan talaga lagi sila ng Aura PH. Kanina, yung orange buff yung target ng Aura. But this time, yung purple buff naman, using Benny Cutie, the thumbs, para sila ang makakuha ng advantage in jungle control over work.
Alam mo, laban lang talaga para sa akin dito ng mga support ko eh. Kailangan maghanapan dito si Kagura at si Kadita kasi sila ang nagiging main piece of the puzzle para mapanalo etong game na to. 3 Martizi dodging that pero hindi magmamatter. Tutumba pa rin siya.
That's a tank para sa isang side laner na trade-off for Aura PH. Obviously, mas gusto yan ng Aura PH. Yung next na point of contention of for this game, Butters, ay syempre yung ating turtle. The third turtle of the game. 6 minutes in pa lang. Pero ang Aura PH, ang ginawa nila na lang ay kumuha ng pressure sa other part of the map. And syempre, with the Lancelot and Tams na maganda naman ang simula ng laban, for sure makakuha sila ng turret.
Unravel dito. Sinusubukan niya gamitin niya talaga yung brush, pero still, greed is in the area, kaya hindi niya masasabi na safe siya anytime. Kasi pagka binatuan siya ng payong, makikita siya na nandun siya. And that's going to be an engage para dito kay Raflesia and kay Greed. So, feeling ko ganun lang talaga, Wolf, yung formula dito para kay Ore. Kailangan lang nila lagi ma-pinpoint kung asan dito yung Kadita. Pagka nagamit nila yung payong nila ng tama, si Greed magagamit niya yung payong ng tama, talagang sila yung magkakaproblema dito. But looking at it, Unravel, forced to use the Imperial Justice para lang makatakas.
Yeah. Chu happily farming. Although, hindi siya kasing bilis ni JP for sure. Kasi si JP ay nakakuha ng mga turtle takes, which means more farm on his side. Pero, hindi naman siya ganun ka-concerned sa ngayon. I think yung Aura PH, yung kanilang pressure sa mapa ay paunti-unti nang nawawala dahil patating na tayo sa mid-game. That's why work, it kind of feels like hindi sila nagpapanik. Hindi sila sobra-sobra nag-decide na parang, okay, pilit natin sa ibang part ng mapa. Sige, ibigay natin yung turtle. Kasi alam nila na kung farm lang ang laban, syempre naka-marksman sila. But they have to be careful. Look at JP.
Nahuli lang stun si JP dito, pero
my God!
Petrify was there! And nahuli din si JP. I think nasasagot na dito ni RTZ yung tanong natin kanina kung mahuhuli ba. Yes, nahuhuli niya.
Oh my goodness. RTZ showing up, pero sabi ni Green, okay, wait lang. Ako muna ang mid lane god.
Naghuli
What a
na
Kagura.
yan. Tatandaan mo, ano ang ginagawa mo para hindi mabasa? Nagpapayong ka.
Payong lang.
Nagpapayong ka. Yun naman talaga yun.
Counter, kumbaga.
Counter ang payong sa tubig, technically.
Sa ulan.
Sa ulan. Pero alam mo naman, Kuya Wolf, etong si Kaditap, galing sa ilalim yung tubig. Gumagana ba yun doon? Feeling ko hindi pero sabi nito.
Depende sa timing.
Depende sa timing. Totoo naman, depende sa timing.
Okay.
Kasi, tinamaan siya dito ng isang wild charge pero wala sa pwesto. Yung mga members dito ng Aura PH para gawin yon ng isang kill.
I love the fact na ginagamit nila yung si Kiluwash this time aggressively kasi normally siya yung parang medyo laid back eh. Yung dynamic kasi ni Kiluwash pati ni Benny Cutie, normally talaga nagpa-farm sila parehas. But this time may isang aggressive na player which is Kiluwash in this moment and Benny Cutie a little bit on the back end, medyo nag-farm. I like that dynamics from sa Aura PH. It makes it so na kahit dumating tayo sa late game ay meron pa ring laban ang Aura PH. Even against this carry na 4-0 and 1 na ngayon.
Tingnan mo yung pwesto dito ni RTZ. JP going in. They want the turtle now. Turtle will be secured. Hindi na pipilit dito ng work. Magtatakbuhan na lang sila. Look at that discipline coming out from this new team. Talagang hindi sila magpipilit kasi alam nila may nakukuha sila dun sa may taas, which is si Dream RTZ with a split push. So hindi rin masasabi dito na basta-basta lang natatalod yung work dahil nakukuha ng Aura yung objectives katulad ng Turtle kasi napapaliit din naman ni Dream RTZ yung mapa nila.
That's absolutely right. Sabi kasi ng work, let's not fight head-on kasi alam natin na yung draft nila at pati na rin yung items na nakuha nila sa una ay mas malakas. Kaya nga naman, mag-split push na lang sila. Like yung deaths on Unravel for this time, hindi ganun kataas yung impact niyan for work Auster Force kasi nakapag-farm pa rin yung ating carry as well as the Esmeralda, pati na rin yung Choke. Kanya-kanyang lane sila at eventually ay makakuha sila ng enough farm to go up against Aura PH in a head-on collision.
Greed! Tumalon sa may likod. Kiluwash dito. Catching out Kadita. Kosei dito na Guardian's Barrier. Tatakbuhin ba nila to? Wild Charge, hindi tatama. Pero sabi ng Aura, disiplina. Kailangan natin tumingin sa objectives. Hindi to padamihan ng patay. Kailangan natin palitin yung mapa nila.
Nakita natin na yung significance ng Wild Charge even from before. Isa sa mga pinakamalalakas na ultimate dahil sa kanya pati na rin yung damage output. Reflesh siya with the perfect timing para counterin yung pag-defend ng Work Auster Force kahit gaano kakayaman bilang carry. Isang stun, isang burst mula sa Lancelot, you're gone.
Alam mo, nakikita na rin natin dito yung importansya na ginagawa dito ng sprint. Given na hindi nga naka-tank or sabi natin support emblems dito si Raflesia, kailangan niya ng extra protection eh. And yung extra protection na yun, hindi yun magagawa ng Aegis, hindi yun magagawa ng Flicker. Kasi para sa akin, pag nag-Flicker ang Croc, offensive eh.
Yes.
Diba? So, ibig sabihin, kapag nag-sprint ka, it's a good mix ng pagiging aggressive at pagiging balansyado din sa lahat ng ginagawa.
At sobrang taas ng value ng sprint sa early stages of the game. Nakita naman natin si Reflection na nakapag-provide ng vision, pati rin na rin ng tempo when it comes to jungle control. At ngayon, sa mga mismong laban, yung high and dry, ito yung medyo tricky para sa akin. Yes, mas malambot ang isang Grok na naka-high and dry compared sa isang Grok na naka-pull yourself together. Pero kung damage output, gamit ang Wild Charge, lalong-lalo na sa third sieges, masakit yan.
Pero Kosei dito with the Falling Star Moon, hindi ka masasalba niyan. Unravel dito, look at the damage coming out from Greed. Tank Sylvana yan. Tank Sylvana yan.
Yung Aura PH, mas naintindihan na nila ngayon kung paano mag-split ang Work Auster Force. Kasi nga naman, napuwersa ang Work Auster Force na maghiwa-hiwalay sa mapa. Kasi, of course, when going up against 3 heroes, mapapatay yan. Even si Reflection, hindi na nga kinailangan kasi mataas na yung farm ng Lancelot. Kaya naman, nababurst na yung Esmeralda. But look at that. Another kill. Even committing yung kanilang Wild Charge para sa isang Kadita. Kasi alam nila, at this point, Kadita pa lang yung problema mula sa Work Auster Force.
Hinapos, mga kaibigan, yung palabas dito ni RTZ. Kaya niya sanang lagbasan yun eh. Pero kasi, wala, dulong-dulong. Ganda ng Guardian's Barrier.
Oh man, look at that. Si Great with the combo.
And Dream RTZ, will try to get away. Thorn Rose, hindi na nga kinakailangan pero binato pa rin. And this could be the final push. Tingnan natin kung paano didepensahan ng work etong siege na ginagawa ngayon ng Aura PH.
It seems very difficult.
Unravel? Uy, nahuli na si JP dito. That is a step in the right direction if they want to do this. Kilo Wash dito, pumasok siya with the ultimate. Pero wala masyadong damage na ginawa si RTZ. Pero parang bilyar! Tatlong tao ang tinamaan dito. Nakaflee siya ng wild charge. And that is it! Aura PH wins the second series of the MPL-PH Season 7.
Para sa Aura PH, di nila gusto yung mga pinaka-perfect, yung pinaka-flawless when it comes to sieging. Willing silang mag-sacrifice ng kanilang mga heroes. This time, even yung kanilang jungler na si JP, zinone out yung kalaban using all of the minions para makapag-unli dash, kumbaga. Kaso nahuli pa rin, but it was too late. Dahil nakapag-set up na yung Aura PH para makapag-takedown ng 3 tore, sabay sinargo pa ni Raplesha Batares.
The Magician.
The Magician.
The Magician, tama yun. And that winning moment, ladies and gentlemen, is brought to you by Master. Hindi sila na GG. Instead, they brought their clay game with Master, sikreto ng mga gwapo. And that was a very gwapo play galing sa Aura PH. Dun sa mga last moments na yun,
yeah, for sure.
Antindi.
So many things that happened. Gusto ko yung mga pag-connecta nila para may trap silang sineset para mas maganda yung kanilang pag-pick off. At hindi lang yan, pati dun sa pinakahuling push, kinamit nila lahat ng abilities nila. Okay lang kahit mamatay si JP, pero pag nagulo niya na yung kalaban at bumapatay na yung Lord ng Torre, pati si Thams nakapag-push na, it doesn't matter anymore as long as they get the victory.
Literal kasi na parang na-ruler. Ang hirap sabihin kapag wala kang R. Pero na-ruler.
Oo.
Talagang sukat na sukat. Walang labis, walang kulang. Pero alam mo kung sino ang walang labis at walang kulang kapag nag-a-analyze. Siyempre, ang ating resident analyst na si Midnight. And Midnight, ano ba nga ba ang masasabi mo tungkol doon sa series na yon?
Thank you so much, casters. Grabe, ang masasabi ko lang dito is si Rafflesia pinulis yung work Auster Force. And syempre, alongside his teammates, secured an easy victory on Game 3 and won the entire series. Once again, my name is Midnight, your analyst for today. And the following post-game stats na makikita natin dito is brought to us by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of MPL. Free to game grade with Smart free games for all. And as I was saying earlier, si Grok dito, no, si Rafflesia, pinulis lang talaga yung work Auster Force. Sabi niya rito, oy, curfew na, papalalagyan ko ng pader, tapos pagagalitan lang ni Greet, no, papalalagyan ng payong, and easy pickups. Pero, pinaka-importanting aspect ng game dito ni Rafflesia is the early game. Kung makikita nyo, no, game 2, hindi natin nabanggit, pero very key, a very important factor, yung kanyang emblem. Naka-high and dry yung Grok natin. What he does on the early game is just continuously poke the heroes of work Auster Force. Ngayon, makikita natin dito yung score niya dito, no? 0, 3, and 10. Considering na 14 kills lang ang Aura PH, he has 10 out of 14. So medyo mataas yung kanyang kill participation dito. And again, ang trabaho lang naman ni Rafflesia is to tank damage and poke enemy heroes. And that propelled Aura PH to the mid-game timing that they were looking for. Although may mga magaganda ring plays naman ang work Auster Force. Pero syempre, iba pa rin talaga yung danila ni Rafflesia for Aura PH. Once again, these stats were brought to us by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of MPL. Free to game grade with Smart free games for all. Ang ganda ng mga movements dito ng mga players, no, gwapong-gwapo and napaka-pogi. Mukhang kailangan natin alamin yung sikreto ni Rafflesia. Pero makikita natin in a few moments yung highlights dito ng ating game. Of course, brought to us by Head and Shoulders. Put your game face on and finally say goodbye to those awkward #itchagg moments. Thanks to the Head and Shoulders. 100% dander free and itch free. Now, mas mabango pa. Tingnan natin yung mga mababangong moments dito ng Aura PH. It started with an overfarm on the top lane or yung pagcut ng minion wave directly going inside the enemy jungle para makapag-invade ng jungle boss. Makikita nyo naman dito yung gameplay ng Aura PH, no? Ang ginagawa nila is naghihiwa-hiwalay sila. There's one hero on the other side of the map. and there's 3 or 4 heroes on the opposite side of the map. Pero syempre, hindi rin naman nagkulang ng poking moments dito si RTZ, one of the most consistent players dito on the side of Work Auster Force with a beautiful catch on the Lancelot. Actually, maraming pang moments yan dito rin si RTZ, no? He was able to bait out Raflesia and JP and got the kill on the Lancelot. Unfortunately, that wasn't enough. Greed was there to secure the kill, and paulit-ulit natin makikita si Raflesia na nang mamalang. Trimmer TC had his moments with a very beautiful kick there onto the Grok. Napakabilis ng kanyang daliri. Sticker na lang ang kulang. And Aura-PH really didn't stop there. Okay, sabi nila, kailangan natin mag-reset, no? Paulit-ulit na tayo na pick off ni Kadita, pati na rin ni Cho. Let's just group up. Iwan natin again si Very Cutie on the bottom lane, and let's move as 4 heroes onto the top lane. Raflesia again just checking all those checkpoints that needs to be checked. Dahil nga checkpoint yun, kailangan mo i-check yun. And ito yung sinasabi ng mga cases natin kanina. Just go in with the ultimate of the Grok and secure the victory here for Aura-PH. And Work Auster Force, they didn't have enough solution against that, and Aura-PH just easily got the victory against Work Auster Force here on the back of a Grok on Raflesia. Of course, MVP of that game brought to us by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of MPL. Break through your own limits, rise above, and be free to game great with free games for all. One of the greatest Grok players in MPL-PH history, Raflesia, propelled Aura-PH into the victory here for game number 3. KDA niya 0-3-10, net worth of 7,662, damage dealt 25,000. Very important yan, 25,000 damage dealt on a Grok. Really does show that Raflesia knew what he was doing. Poke lang talaga and control the fights. Just allow the early game to cook up for your team, and Aura-PH easily got the victory here against Work Auster Force. That's the last game of the day. Once again, guys, my name is Mida. Thank you for tuning into the analyst portion, and I'll throw you back to the casters.
Maraming salamat, Midnight, and what a series. What a game number 3. Nakikita mo naman na talagang may mga sariling identity na etong mga teams natin papasok dito sa MPL-PH Season 7. It's only day 1.
Without a fight. Aura-PH naman, a very important series for them. Yung huling series nila last season was not what you expected from them. Knowing na sila yung back-to-back defending champions, getting 0-3 in their last 2 series of MPL Season 6. Sobrang crucial na manalo sila dito sa series na to dahil ang kanilang kalaban ay bago sa eksena, bago dito sa MPL. At hindi lang yan, meron silang gustong improve with their new lineup.
And ladies and gentlemen, what a performance coming out from both teams, especially para sa akin, Work Auster Force, si RTZ just showed us one hell of a Kadita game. Kinulang, pero still, it's only day 1. Kanina pa natin sinasabi yan, pero totoo naman,